Welcome to the lounge, where we challenge accountability. I'm Urban, and we don't do surface talk here. We use emotional intelligence. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Every beat a question, every bar a lesson. I turn the mic to a mirror, life's a session. Urban in the mix, soul and intellect blend. We ain't just talk truth, we set trends from Dallas to the world. We break that ceiling, no clout, just facts, that's the real feeling. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Trap drums drop, but the message don't fade. Every thought sparks like a hand grenade. Faith, pain, love, and drive all collide, that's how minds revive. All collide, that's how minds revive. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Mind open wide like a city skyline. Every topic shaped by design. The urban lounge where ideas ignite. Late night thoughts under podcast lights. Every episode of thought design. The urban lounge where iron sharp iron. We build from the ground like truth rewiring. Can't fake what's felt when the mic's ignited. If you listening now, you already invited. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Real quick community guidelines before we start the show. Now I want y'all to know that this is a space for respectable, thought-provoking conversations. We encourage intelligent discussions, different viewpoints, and respectable debates. Disagree if you want, but do it with substance and respect. Self-promotion is not allowed. This is not your billboard. Links, spam, and promotions in the comments or in live chat will be blocked immediately. Distasteful trolling, insults, or bad faith behavior will not be entertained. You will be blocked and banned. No warnings, no back and forth. Finally, y'all will notice that the subscriber mode is on. It is only for 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. That way we can protect the integrity of the show and also protect the integrity of people who actually want to comment in the comment section faithfully, all right? We're here to think, challenge ideas, and grow, and not derail the conversation. If you're here in good faith, then I welcome you. Y'all enjoy the show. Hey, salute everybody, salute. Welcome to the lounge, real quick, those of y'all tune in, I'm kind of seeing that I got a little bit of a lag, but it's kind of picking up a little bit. When y'all make it to this part of me talking, y'all let me know if I'm still lagging or we doing good. We're doing pretty good with these show, because if we're not lagging too bad, then we're going to go ahead and go with the show, all right? So let me check real quick, because what I'm seeing on my phone is totally different from probably what I'm seeing in real time, all right? So it shows that the video kind of lagging a little bit, but as long as it's not lagging too bad or whatever, then we're good. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and go with the show. So once again, y'all made it to this part where I'm talking right now, literally to y'all. Let me know in the chat if everything is good to go. If everything's good to go, then I'm good to go. All right, we're going to go ahead and just jump into this episode. All right, this very, very, very juicy episode that we're going to share with you today. All right. So this story had came on my desk like all of a sudden, like real talk. Came on my desk all of a sudden, man. And so we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about it. And what's going to be interesting about this, y'all, is because on these situations that I often talk about over here on the lounge all the time, and about us vetting properly, about us making sure that we choose properly, you know what I mean, for us dating and all that good stuff. And no, like it's not a Texas thing. It's not even a internet thing. It's actually my one MacBook. All right, so like. So my MacBook got a lot of memory on it now. My MacBook, it got a whole lot of memory on it. So yeah. So with that be the case, it ended up slowing down my processor unit. So I've been having this MacBook since how long I have this? Since 2020. I've been having this MacBook since 2020. You know what I mean? So that's the problem. It got all this memory. It got all this stuff on here, you know, regardless of me having the iCloud storage. It got a lot of stuff on here, and it is what it is. So it had nothing to do with the internet whatsoever. But I'm looking at it now. It's pretty good. We could roll with it. We roll with it tonight. It's all good. But appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, so we're going to talk about this tonight because this is one of these often topics that we talk about all the time on the lounge, where we talk about vetting and all that good old stuff. All right. So what end up happening is that Abba's ex-girlfriend had posted a video on YouTube. She had posted a video on YouTube, and she was pretty much airing out her discrepancies with Abba. Now, just in case y'all don't know who I'm talking about Abba with Abba and Preach. All right. So she ended up airing out her grievances with Abba, and she ended up revealing some very interesting stuff about Abba, including a alleged pregnancy as well too. So we're gonna jump into this, y'all. I'm going to share the video with y'all, and we're gonna react to it. I only seen just little bits and pieces of this, simply because I want to do a live reaction with y'all. All right? I want to get this in real time. All right. Not only that, but I also found out that Abba had reacted to this video as well too. All of this happened just within an hour ago. All this happened within an hour ago. All right. So without further ado, I want to hold y'all up. Those of y'all here right now, make sure you hit thumbs up to support the channel, and let's go ahead and get to this, man, for real. And once again, we're gonna apply this to the framework that I always talk about all the time on here on the lounge. All right. So let's get into it, man. Crazy. All right, so this is Abba's ex-girlfriend. So let's hear what she has to say about this.
Hi, my name is Libby, and I was a girlfriend of Abba from Abba and Preach. We were together for 5 months and involved with each other for about 8 months total, but 5 months of that was a serious, committed relationship. I know when someone thinks 5 months, they think, what can really happen in 5 months? But I think most would agree the first 5 months of a relationship can feel very intense and be filled with a lot of love. And that means you can feel the opposite of that intensity if things are not aligning or if things are not compatible. I'm going to be talking about a pregnancy in which Abba ultimately walked away from. And I'm going to be talking about the difficulties and the emotionally harmful interactions I've had with Abba. I want to acknowledge something up front, and that is, I know exactly who I'm speaking about. I know exactly who Abba is. Abba is articulate. He is persuasive, and he is calculated. Abba is the king of receipts. And anyone who really knows Abba would not willingly put themselves in the position I'm putting myself in right now, unless their experience was significant enough to speak on. I'm not here to cause spectacle. This is all informational. and I'll just leave it up for interpretation. I met.
So real quick, I do want to address this. Why now? Why does she feel like that she needs to reveal this information to the public now? Second thing is this, son. I went on to her channel. This is her first video that she have ever posted on her YouTube channel. All right. So my question is this, why now? Why did she decide that she wants to do this expose with Abba right now in this moment? What is the motive behind this? What do y'all think? But let's continue.
Abba, July of 2025, last year. And it was really fun, and it was really interesting, and it was honestly full of love. 4 months into the relationship, I start to see incompatibilities and inconsistencies that made me question the relationship and started to make me feel doubt. Ironically, as I started to feel those doubts, I found out I was pregnant. I was very nervous, but I knew I wanted to keep the child. I told Abba about the pregnancy, and he was actually very supportive. He was very excited. He always talked about how much he wanted children, and he said he was sure about the pregnancy, and he said that he was always very sure about me. I, however, did not feel sure about Abba. Like I had mentioned, I started to see some core fundamental differences with our values, our lifestyle, and especially how Abba handled things emotionally and how he handled things communicatively. As time goes on, during the pregnancy, I still start to feel even more anxious and more nervous. And I think I start to confuse my anxiousness with being with Abba, or moving forward with Abba, with my confusion and anxiousness with the pregnancy and if I wanted to continue the pregnancy or not. And terminating the pregnancy was never in the question. It was something I never wanted to do. But as time kept going in the relationship, I still felt like it was pretty rocky.
Now, real quick. This sounds like another one of these cases to where the woman's intuition had failed her. Because we would have said this time and time again over here at the lounge where we talk about a woman and intuition, right? They say that they have this strong intuition about things, right? But once again, instead of them allegedly listening to their intuition, they listen to their feelings and emotions. And here's another thing I want to bring to your attention. She was kind of questioning the validity of their relationship, right? But however, she felt that it was appropriate for her to open her legs up to this dude and allow this dude to go in raw with her, and to top it off, to literally give her a baby. But let's continue.
And I talked to Abba and I said, maybe an abortion is something we should do, even if that isn't what I wanted at all. And Abba was not happy with it. Abba was quite disappointed, and he tried to support the decision as much as he could, but you can tell that he was struggling with it a little bit. We make our first appointment for the abortion, and Abba visits me to be there for me, and we don't go through with it that day. And when he leaves, I make another appointment, and I cancel that one. And I think in total I canceled 3 abortion appointments. And I think, maybe I should give it more time and see if my feelings change. And so I set an appointment for after the trip I had planned to Montreal to visit Abba. I visit Abba in Montreal, and we get into our biggest fight. And this was a real turning point for me. And I know it's hard to imagine Abba upset, but he does get there. And not only does he get there, he goes past the point of the threshold of where anger should stop. Abba resorts to name-calling and degrading language and resorts to ridicule and mocking, and it does teeter on the emotionally and verbal abusive side, and I hate to put a label on it like that, but that is truly what it felt like. And don't take my word for it. I will be posting examples in this video or the next video. After that trip, I realized that I always wanted to keep the child, and it was the relationship that needed to be looked at. And so I cancel that last appointment, and I call Abba and I tell him, I'm so sorry for the back and forth, but it was never in my values to terminate the pregnancy. I think I'm anxious about us, and I think it's better if we co-parent. And I was thinking about the kind of environment I would like to raise my child in and everything like that. So Abba's really upset, and we hang up, and he tells me to get the abortion. And he tells me, okay, I don't have anything to say, just get the abortion, and I'll wait for the abortion updates. And I said, I will consider keeping you, I will keep you updated. I will consider what you said over the phone about having the abortion. My values were to ultimately not get it. And he said, just so we're clear, if you change your mind for the 10th time, I will not be involved. And then I kind of snap back a little bit, and I'm like, then don't be. And then he blocks me. And he blocks me for an entire day. And I'm so sorry for the construction in the background. I have to make sure to speak loud. Sorry about that. I said, hey, I need to talk to you about the baby. I'm still blocked. And I tell my cousin to message him to unblock me. And he says, hey, I unblocked you for a second to say stop contacting me. Regardless of what you choose, I will never decide to keep in contact with you. You're not my responsibility. Now don't reach out to me again. And then if you guys are reading this, I'll mention what's going on here in a minute. But I said, why did you block me after you wanted updates? He says, because I don't want updates. Sorry I wasn't clear, so I'll be clear. I don't want to ever hear from you again. He says, keep it or don't. I don't need updates. If you do this solo, good luck. If you don't keep it, great. And then he blocks me again. And I am so exhausted at this point on how Abba handles conflict and how he resorts to shutting down and avoidance and stonewalling.
Now, real quick, I'm listening to her story, right? It's like this. Why is it that every woman of this archetype behaves the same exact way? What I mean, they behave the same exact way to where they make themselves become the victim in the story immediately. They never don't acknowledge anything that they do within this story. They only acknowledge what's going on to the alleged person in the story only. And I'm just so confused about this because they do this every single time. Like, a matter of fact, when we was reacting to the financial baddie, when she was allegedly calling her ex-husband and her father narcissist, right? She always blamed the ex and the father and all stuff, but she never take accountability. And it's similar to this story right here, to where she kind of low-key is trying to call him, abusive and a narcissist, different things like that. And that's why I'm kind of bringing this up, because I'm just seeing that repeated behavior pattern with these archetypal women, where they immediately try to label these dudes to be this such horrible person, as though they're trying to slander their character. And the reason why I'm questioning this is because they knew prior before getting with this dude, they knew. Getting into a relationship with this dude, they knew. Laying down and having sex with them, they knew. So throughout this whole entire time, you telling me that you are consciously aware of what's going on, right? But yet it's still, you just know all the signs. You know your intuition, and you still go with it with the hopes that it's going to be better. And then what's even more interesting is this. Like I'm looking at her her computer, right? And she literally have a screen full of receipts that she had recorded from her iPhone. So you mean to tell me this? You mean that you've been compiling this information up for months and months and months and months to finally give you the courage to create a YouTube channel and expose this dude? Now I'm not gonna forget about Abba, because we'll talk about Abba later. You know what I mean? But for us, this situation right here with her, it just rubs me the wrong way.
That's bullshit.
It really do. It rubs me the wrong way. It really rubs me the wrong way, y'all. It really do, because I see this time and time again where these archetype of women keep doing this repeated behavior over and over again to different men. There have been men who literally been locked up due to these archetype of women. Now, once again, I'm not going to discredit the behavior from these men, especially with Abba, because that's one of the things that we talk about all the time on this channel, is talking about vetting, and vetting some more. Don't be going after the woman because she doesn't look good and that's it. But she should be a woman of substance, of value. She should be in that role of being a helpmeet. But however, these dudes, they fall for these archetype of women, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Shout out to everybody who's on tuning in right now. We are reacting to Abba's ex-girlfriend. She is coming forth and she's bringing in the receipts talking about Abba and this alleged pregnancy, all right? So far that she was revealing to us is this. She revealed to us that they was in a relationship, right? Allegedly, things was going fine in the relationship until she got pregnant. She was revealing to us that at first Abba was cool with the pregnancy, right? But she decided to exercise her my body, my choice option and to tell this dude that she wanted to abort the baby. Abba ended up feeling some type of way and getting upset, according to her. And that's what started this downward spiral of events, which led to her creating a YouTube channel and exposing Abba. That's her story, allegedly. But trust me, we're going to hear Abba's point of view as well, too, because he did a live stream about an hour ago talking about this, all right? So we're going to hear his perspective as well, too, all right? So those of y'all who are here, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. Let's go ahead and continue.
And especially at a time that is very critical and sensitive, I just want to show you this. So this kind of will show you an example of Abba's volatility a little bit. I think within the span of 4 months of our relationship, I think I was blocked like 100 times. And I typed in the word block in my search history for my messages. And the first time he blocked me was in August 7th, the beginning of August. And I think we met in the middle of July. And this was just 3 weeks after we met. And so then he blocks me again at the end of August, and then a few times in September, and then October and November and December. And anytime that you see the word blocked on my end, I'm just telling him like, hey, can you unblock me? You still have me blocked from Instagram or something. And that doesn't stop there. I now type in the word blocking, which is different from blocked, but I still have a bunch of where he's like, I'm blocking you here, And I put blocking here because I didn't block him here. I was telling him like, hey, you keep blocking.
Nate Slay, what's up?
And yeah, so now I'm blocked. And
I find this even more weird that she's literally bringing out these receipts and showing people how many times she's been blocked by ABBA. That is some weird behavior for real. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of downright crazy for real. Because if this person block you, right, what difference does it make how many times they block you? What difference does it make? You're blocked. So I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I'm upset. I am 9 weeks pregnant. I'm feeling emotional. I'm hormonal. All these changes. And I don't want to blame it on that specifically because I knew that I was also exhausted from the dynamic of Abba and I. And so this is a blemish
what to announce, brother?
on my part in all of this. But I pretend to send a screenshot of Abba's message saying that he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. I pretend to send it to Myron Gaines. And I never do it, and I never did do it, but that was just to like, I was fighting back a little bit.
Well, wait a minute. Whoa. Okay, so now she's saying she's 9 weeks pregnant, right? She's feeling emotional, and she decided that she was going to send message to Myron Gaines, the ops. Ugh.
God damn.
That's bullshit.
But I also find this. I also find this very interesting, right? I find this interesting because she said that she's going to send a message to Myra Gaines. So, did he unblock himself and seen that message, or is this something that she just assuming that happened? But let me rewind it back just a little bit, okay?
But I pretend to send a screenshot of Abba's message saying that he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. I pretend to send it to Myron Gaines. And I never do it, and I never did do it, but that was just to like, I was fighting back a little bit. But again, I never did it. And I also messaged the Ab and Preach page. And I tell him this. I'm not going to read it, but I'll leave it up here so you guys can view.
No, I'm going to read it. I'll read it. I'll most definitely read it. All right. So she sent this message to fresh fit, damn it. Albert and Preach page. She say this. Oh, shit. I'm pregnant and despise it being in. What the? Can she not type correctly? I'm pregnant and despise is being in a relationship or not. You said you don't care if I keep the baby or not, and that you won't be a part of it. You told me you'll never walk out on the child if I get pregnant. And you what? Oh, you lied. I will keep the baby and raise them myself. Them? Wait a minute. She have a twins? But because I expressed how I felt anxious 5 months into the relationship, and you told my truth because I do care about your life, me loving you, and me also feeling unsettled can both exist. And I'm reading this exactly how she typed it, y'all. That's why it sounds like this. I'm reading exactly how she typed this, okay? Me loving you and me loving you and you me also feeling unsettled can both exist. You say this isn't horrible behavior towards me. You saying the behavior is better than blackmail. I didn't even better. What the? Hold up. Damn, her shit so fucked up, y'all, that it got my eyes cross-eyed, y'all. God damn. Hold up. You say this is a horrible behavior towards me. You saying this behavior is better than blackmail. I don't even say I was going to do. I never said I was going to do those things, and you tell me you would stop your friends from doing that because you're not me. But you will leave me alone to parent your child alone, saying that's not horrible. If I wanted my friends to expose your horrible text message to me, wouldn't you think I already have done that? Which she's doing it now. My friends even said in the message you sent me, Libby would never do it. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise, who? That took a lot, y'all. That took a lot for me to read that, man. I ain't lying. Hey, hey, y'all in this chat roasted. I'm talking about illiterate. But wait, there's more. Okay. I felt I needed to end the relationship because we were fighting all the time, and it wasn't okay. It ended respectfully, and you knew that. You then told me you don't care if I keep the baby or not. You're not going to be a part of it. And then you blocked me. And then I tried to reach you because there wasn't a decision on the baby. And then I showed my friends your horrible messages, and they stick up for me. Even you know what sent me was evil. That's why you're afraid of getting leaked, which I said I wouldn't do. But even that is telling. Ooh, Jesus, that took a lot. All right, so Albert and Preacher reached out. They said, hey, what's the? Oh, hey, blackmailer, start reaching out. That's what they said. Hey, blackmailer, start reaching out. So everything that she said in this text message, she said she wasn't going to do, but she ended up doing it anyway.
That's bullshit.
Let's continue.
You can pause if you'd like. And he just responds, hey, blackmailer, stop reaching out. And Abba gets very upset because now Preach sees these messages, and now Preach knows that his girlfriend is pregnant. Now Preach knows Abba's girlfriend is pregnant. And Abba calls me at some point, and this is just another example of how Abba does talk to me when he does get upset. So I don't answer because I'm trying to get something to eat. I'm hungry and I'm like sick. I'm in my first trimester, and I don't answer. And he says, I don't care, bye, blocked. I'm trying to eat. Hey, I was really trying to get something to eat. I haven't eaten. He says, parasite, I don't care. Eat, shit, sleep. I want my peace back. I want you gone. So hurry up. You made 9 accounts harassing me and blackmailing. So he's talking about my cousin reaching out and sending him messages. And
So my question is, if he's blocking you, right, why are you keep creating these burner numbers, or as you allegedly saying, you're getting these numbers from your family members and keep texting this dude over and over again? Why are you doing that? Because at this point, the dude obviously don't want to have nothing to do with you. So why continue to pursue it? And then what's worse is that by you doing this expose, it really not making you look good at all, period. Now, true enough, it probably exposing that Abba did knock you up and got you pregnant. That's probably the only thing, you know what I mean? But other than that, you having all these receipts on your computer and you showing it, and you showing you constantly trying to reach out to this dude, and he keep constantly saying, block, I don't want to have nothing to do with you, leave me alone. That's not a good look at all, period. It's kind of have a toxic feel to this. I'm just saying.
Finally, he calls again, and we finally get on a phone call. This is the most brutal phone call, and it does reflect everything that I had mentioned before, that it was verbal and emotionally abusive and contain a lot of dehumanizing language and degrading language. And I actually have the phone call right here, but I cannot play it because Abba can file legal action against me. And in this phone call, he also says, I will never meet the baby. I will never look at the baby in the face. I will never know its name. And if I do, I will make sure to tell them that their mother was disgusting and horrible. And he says that he will make sure he's never a part of the baby's life. And I know you can't picture Abba saying this, but he does say it. And after that, I never hear from Abba again. 3 days go by, and I am desperate to talk to him. And
Why?
I contact Preach.
Why? Why are you desperate to talk to him when he done blatantly made it known to you that he don't want to have nothing to do with you and he don't want to have nothing to do with this child, period? So why? Why are you more desperate?
Through Instagram, and Preach doesn't want anything to do with it, which is understandable. And I just kind of leave it alone after that.
And then on top of that, she decided to contact the homie too. Well, I'm going to contact the homie. Maybe the homie could be reasonable to him.
Week 1 goes by and I don't hear anything from Abba. Week 2 goes by. I don't hear anything from Abba. And then now we're at week 3. And I know that 3 weeks doesn't seem like a long time, but when you're trying to figure out a situation as critical as this one, and you're so desperate to talk to the father of the baby, 3 weeks felt like a very long time. And week 4 comes up, and I now have to make a decision. And I have to make a decision based off what the reality is. The reality is that Abba completely left me for dead. And Abba walked out on the pregnancy, and he is now absent from this entire...
God, Lord. The man did not leave you completely for dead. What the hell are you talking about? In this woman's mind, she is literally thinking that they are in a full-fledged relationship. Hell, in her mind, she thinking that they're married. She thinking that she is married to this dude and he done walked out on the family. But once again, this dude clearly let her know that he don't want to have nothing to do with her. Period. Those of y'all who tune in right now, appreciate you tuning in to the show. We are reacting to this controversy that's happening with Abba from Abba and Preach. His ex has came onto YouTube to expose Abba, to say that she was pregnant. And she's pretty much trying to expose Abba, saying that he's a deadbeat father because he don't want to have anything to do with her and the child. And the fact she kept mentioning over and over and over again that she was going to get an abortion, but she didn't get an abortion and all this other kind of bullcrap. Damn. But we're here and we're reacting to it. Those of y'all tuning in, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. All right. So let's continue. All right. Also, we're going to react to Abba's point of view too, because he did go live on this today. All right.
Thing. And he doesn't want anything to do with the baby, and he doesn't want anything to do with me, and I make the hardest decision I ever had to make. And it was a very painful decision, but I ended up having the abortion. And I grieved very hard. And I was also...
Yo, Brian, that is correct. In the beginning, she did reveal that Abba did wanted the child. He wanted the child. In fact, she revealed that he was happy about having a child. But it was her who was second guessing it. It was her who was second guessing it. Then eventually it was her who proposed the idea of getting an abortion. He really didn't want to do it, but he just went on and went with it, right? And according to her, they went to the abortion clinic first together. She decided not to do it. She went to the abortion clinic 5 more times by herself, and she decided not to do it. At this point, she revealed that Albert was pissed off. Albert was so pissed off that he like, you know what, forget it. It's your body, your choice, whatever the hell you want to do, just go ahead and do it. Because at this point, I'm pissed off, I'm mad at you, I want to have nothing to do with you. She called Albert being toxic because he was up in his feelings about it. And so from this point on, she kept trying to reach out to Albert over and over again, but at this point, he done blocked her. And so she done reached out, she done used her family phone to call Albert. Then she done reached out to her friend's phone to call Albert, to text him. She done used burner phones to text Albert. She even went to the Albert and Preach page to text Albert. And she even reached out to Preach as well too. So she doing all this stuff and set up her allegedly said that she allegedly was saying that, hey, I'm going to send these receipts out to the ops. Meaning she's going to send the receipts out to Myron Gaines. So Myron Gaines and Fresher Fit could react to this. So this is where we at right now, y'all. But let's continue.
Grieving the relationship with Abba, I knew that I found all of these incompatibilities, but I did still love him a lot. And I was feeling very lost and truly some of my darkest days. And I think Abba will never get a hold of me again, and he really doesn't care to reach out, but
you think
he does. So a week after the abortion, I hear from him on Instagram, and this is what he says.
Okay, so she finally got the abortion. Out of all of that, she finally got the abortion, and this is when Abba had reached out to her. All right. So I'm gonna read Abba's message to y'all. Abba said this. He said, for me to plan things, I need clarity on a few things. Whether you intended to continue the pregnancy and what level or environment you foresee from me. I should be clear that I still have no plans to co-parent. I'm not messaging you to discuss the relationship or here to argue, just the above. Preach sent me right now what you sent him after our last chat.
He says, for me to plan things, I need clarity on a few things, whether you intend to continue the pregnancy and what level of involvement you...
Oh yeah, by the way, y'all said earlier, that was the reason why she didn't want to read her messages. Notice that she's reading his messages. Because our message was illiterate as hell.
Foresee for me. I should be clear that I still have no plans to co-parent. I'm not messaging to discuss the relationship or here to argue, just the above. And he is messaging me a lot, and it's because I'm not responding to him. And one thing I really...
And here's another thing too. Since Abba was doing all these things to her, right, and she was feeling some type of way about it, finally she had got your aha, I got you moment. So Abba is reaching out to her now and then contacting her, doing all these messages, and she's leaving him on red. Not because there's something wrong with her phone, not because she didn't pay her bill, but she's doing it spitefully because of what Abba was doing to her. But let's continue.
What I realized about Abba is Abba thinks a certain way. Abba also likes things done a certain way. And if things are not followed through in the way that he wants, you will see a reaction from him. And, this is one of those times, like I'm not responding and he is insulting me, saying I'm doing all these things and I'm not, doing those things. And I'm like, I'm not going to engage with this type of communication, but he does lash out. And I thought about the pregnancy and I thought, Abba never cared about the child. He only cared about, this dream that he had. But that's not really how it works. We both have this responsibility, and I didn't do it the way he pictured it. And I can understand that also, but this is so far removed from what he would support on his channel and promote on his channel. And so I said, I left you alone since I reached out to Preach a month ago. And he's saying, like, no, you're like still calling me and I'm still trying to reach him. I said, no, I never called you. I said, I've left you alone since like my last contact with Preach. I said, you didn't want anything to do with the baby. I said, okay. I said, I'm not going to engage in this kind of communication, Abba, because he keeps messaging me. And he sends this little okay liar thing. Remember, I said that Abba can act in a way of like mocking and ridicule and a little sometimes immature. Yeah, I said, and that's what you wanted. You didn't want anything to do with the baby. And to this day, Abba feels extremely justified with leaving the pregnancy. This is one of our last messages. This was about a month ago, and there was a little tension in this conversation, and we were going back and forth a bit, and I said, you still haven't apologized for abandoning me and our baby. I only apologize. And he said, it's because it's your fault. You cut me out of the relationship and the fatherhood. I'm saying, I have to go now, okay? And he said, I have always believed that it was your fault. I said, it was a responsibility that was both of ours. And I said, I needed more security from you. And he said that you didn't want the baby. And he's talking about when I was going back and forth from before the Montreal trip. And when I realized, this relationship is probably not sustainable. And this is something I am still healing from, and something I think about often. And
Healing? What the hell? Healing from what? Based on everything that you have told us in this video, this is everything that you initiated. The only part that Abba have is when he ended up nutting up in you and correcting this child. That is his only role in this. But this whole interaction is due to you. You're the one who was complacent about having this baby or not, which made him feel some type of way. Because like I say in the beginning, she clearly stated that Abba wanted to have the baby. He was excited about it. But she started exercising that my body, my choice bullshit. And she decided that, well, I don't think you feel the same way how I feel. I don't think you love me the same way how I love you. So I want to get an abortion. And so Abba, all right, whatever. So I don't.
And I'm still grieving. And
she talking about she's still grieving for what? Because look, at the end of the day, what's done is done. You got the abortion. Y'all no longer in a relationship. So once again, when I started this show off, I said this. I had asked the question, what was the whole purpose of her doing this expose? What was the whole point of her going on a YouTube channel and creating a video talking about this? What was the whole point of it? When y'all not even together no more. No baby, no relationship, no nothing. What's the point of it? You the one who just decided to kill this baby, not him. You did. Let's keep it real. So
I do feel like it was wrong. And I did feel like it was wrong at the time, but after some time passes, I really think that this wasn't the way it should have gone. And I'll be posting more examples of my interaction with Abba and the dynamic and this repetitive cycle I experienced with him. So yeah, thanks for watching.
All right, so she's supposed to be posting more videos as well too, right? She gonna do a part 2 of this, okay? So she gonna do a part 2 of this eventually whenever this comes around. I'll do another reaction video of that, okay? But as of for right now, y'all let me know what y'all think about this song, because like I said, we're going to react to Abba's perspective on this whole entire interaction. All right, so y'all let me know what y'all think about what she's saying about this. Do y'all agree with her, or do y'all disagree with her? Do y'all feel some type of way about this, or how y'all feel about this whole interaction? Do you believe that it was appropriate for her to do this, or do you think this is just messy as hell? Now, to be quite honest with y'all, a lot of people have been comparing this situation to Fresh's situation, which we did a reaction on that too. I actually did a reaction to this almost a year ago with that situation with Fresh. All right. So a lot of people is comparing this situation to Fresh's situation from Fresh or Fit. To be honest with you, I could see, some type of comparison to it, because at the end of the day, we still got to call it for what it is. Both of these men have messed up. Both of these men messed around and nut up in the wrong woman and decide to allegedly procreate with them. So yeah, in that situation, yeah, they need to be held accountable, especially for the type of content that they put out there. Because they be griffing red pill content all the time and manosphere content all the time, where they be trying to encourage men to vet out these women, right? They be trying to encourage these men to move a certain type of way, move with purpose, and all these different other things as well too, right? So if you're going to have men do that, but at the same time you're not practicing what you're preaching, then that looks some type of way. That's a bad look. Because in reality, what you're doing is this: you're showing these other men who may look at you for us like a vice or whatever, right? And they're looking at you and they're saying like, hey, if my hero Fresh could get away with this, or my hero ABBA could get away with this, then hell, sure, what's stopping me? I'm just gonna go and nut up on some chicks and be done with it. And convince them to get an abortion or whatever. But brothers, it's not the right way to go. It's not. It's not the right way to go. That's why I say over and over again over here that it's important. If you want to get into these said relationship with these said women, right, it's important for you to vet out these women. Don't just go for them just because they look good to you. You just want to smash. Now, I'm going to put you this way. If that's your end goal, that you look at a woman and your end goal is just to smash with her, then you need to do everything in your power to protect yourself, because your seed is just as important as her egg. So you need to do everything possible to protect your seed, especially if you're not trying to get them pregnant. I'm just saying. But it is what it is. And I know ABBA's not red pill. I know he's not manosphere, but however, they do be reacting to a lot of manosphere and red pill content. And within their content, they do be giving advice behind it and stuff too, where they be trying to expose different people and they give their little personal anecdotal experience behind it. So to be honest with you, that's technically what they're doing. They're grifting it. They're grifting that content to make money off of it. But a lot of people, I put it this way, a lot of men who follow them, right, they literally be following them for some type of guidance or some type of leadership. Hell, some of them want to follow them for some form of mentorship as well too. So yeah, they got to be held accountable if you're making these mistakes. Now, gentlemen, I want y'all to understand this. I could understand if this was a past thing that happened, like way in the past, before they even became Fresh and Fit, before they even came able to preach different things like that. I can understand that. Because we all make mistakes. But however, if this happening in present time where you're carrying that title, then yeah, you need to be held accountable for that, for real. You do. You need to be called out on it. Because it makes this space look bad. It makes everything that these pink pill feminist women say about men true. All because of these alleged dudes who are like leaders of the space, but in reality they're really not. Understand. But like I say, y'all, we're going to react to Abba's perspective on this as well too. Shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. Appreciate you tuning in to the stream. We are reacting right now to Abba's alleged baby mama. So we fixing to see what Abba had to say about all this. All right. So here's the video right here
to talk about it.
Here's the live stream that he just did right here. All right. So let's see what Abba got to say about all of this foolishness.
Because it's worthwhile. Now, some of you who've been following us all year know that around the end of the last year, going into this year, I was pretty stressed out. I was dealing with a lot. Shit, your boy was showing up with some soju. Not because I wanted to be an alcoholic. I was just drinking one. But it was still a pretty stressful period. And the reason why it was stressful wasn't because I pulled a Fresh or a Walter. The reason why it was stressful is because I was involved in a relationship where the other individual, how would I put this? You know, guys, today you guys are going to see me be a bit vulnerable and be real about aspects of my life that I never want to share with the public, mostly because, I don't know, it involves people I know in real life, and that's always a weird thing. But unfortunately, you know, she forced my hand, and so I figured I'd come up here, guys, and be real honest.
You want to know, y'all want to know what? I find his statement very disingenuous, okay? The reason why is because him and Preach had literally created a YouTube career of doing the very thing that he's trying to protect. So it's okay for him to expose everybody else's business and make content off of it and make money off of it, right? However way he see fit, right? But when it comes to your personal anecdotal life, you're going to do your very best to protect that. Now, if this woman would have never came out and said these things, we would have never knew about it. He'll be still doing his normal shows like he do what he do. So I'm just calling it for what it is. He literally do that. He literally make his whole entire channel dedicated to trying to expose different people's life, but yet it's still he want to protect his own. And we could actually see why, to be honest with you.
I don't hate her. You know, this is somebody I love very, very much, and I loved. And, you know, we went through something that was very, very difficult. And it's hard for me to hate this person because for me, if I love somebody, it doesn't just go away. And so even making this for me right now feels weird. You know, but you were just dancing 5 minutes ago. Yes, because the relationship itself fucking took so much out of me. You know, I can sit here in front of you guys today and feel very comfortable because I gave everything to a relationship, every ounce of me, more patience than I even fucking knew I had, and wore myself out doing everything in my body to make things work. And it just didn't work out. And, you know, breakups are always tough because you leave thinking like, what if, and this and that. But when you give everything, when you know, like you tried and you tried and you tried and it just didn't work out, it's a lot easier for me to walk away and to look back on it and speak about it because, you know, there's nothing really much else for me to do. So now she comes out with this video. Didn't know what was happening, so it was a little blindside. I woke up at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and you guys are getting this all raw, live, unfiltered, the same way she got it raw, and that's why we're here, okay? So why don't I just plug in the video a little bit so y'all can see who we're talking about. This is my ex, Libby Calian. All right, she's a Filipina, my first, my last. I like you Filipinos. You guys are awesome. You know what I mean? Her family seems really cool, so I'm going to always say positive things about the people, them. But let's take a look.
My name is Libby.
God damn, what a dramatic-ass intro. But that's who she is, okay? Now, I'm not going to spend an hour going over this whole video because I don't think it's really worthwhile. I think the main concern is Abba, you know what I mean? She got some baby mama drama. Is that what people want to know? The allegation essentially is that Abba's like fresh. She got a girl pregnant and he just manipulated or bullied her or whatever. or he abandoned. And that can be further from the
I
truth.
see what he's doing.
Could be further from the truth. So we'll get into all of those details, okay? Someone said, oh, Abba, you're sweating right now. To be honest with you, I really don't. I don't live my private life in a way that I would be afraid if it came to light. I know someone might think that, but I'm not looking back on all my decisions in this dynamic and going, oh my God, if someone, I don't give a fuck. You know, I just don't want y'all because it's annoying. You know what I mean? Having people in my personal life, we're talking about, it's like, it's annoying. But beyond that, like, I'm not stressing, to be honest with you. So for all the people being like, oh my God, like, not really bothered. So
here's another disingenuous thing he just said. At the end, he mentioned that he's not bothered by none of this. I say that is bullshit.
That's bullshit.
You are bothered by this. You are. Because if you wasn't bothered by this, then you wouldn't have to do a reaction to this. You wouldn't even have to respond to this if you cared. Then also, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. If you wasn't bothered by it, if you was just the man, if you was just the shit and all the stuff that right, trust me, you wouldn't have been texting her like you was texting her at the end of all this. But we're going to get more into it, the reason why he was doing that in a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to reveal it to you right now. The reason why he was doing all that texting and stuff too at her at the end of all of this, right, allegedly, is because he felt that she was going to do this very thing. He felt that she was going to end up doing what he called a hit piece on him. Still God honest truth. So him trying to pretend in front of his audience that, you know, he this tough dude, you know, he got thick skin and this don't bother him. It bothered him. It bothered him.
Me and her dated for some time, and we talked at length about what we would do if she got pregnant. And both of us landed on we would keep the child. And the reason why we would want to keep a child is because for her, she presented herself as a Christian, someone of faith. For me, I'm pro-choice. You guys know that. But at the same time, I tell myself, like, you know, if it's my child and it feels right and we're in a union, then I'm more than willing, even if it's unexpected, to assume my responsibilities and do what I got to do. The three things that she presented to me that surprised me in all this was that, one, she said she would never quit. She's not a quitter, you know what I mean? So that to me was reassuring because I want to work through problems, I want to work through issues, fights, everything. And, you know, I value that in a partner. Second thing she told me was that, yeah, you know, she wouldn't get an abortion. For her, keeping children really important. So I'm like, cool, you know, it's not my faith or anything like that, but I get that and I respect that. And the third thing is that she's not a cheater and she doesn't believe in courting the attention of other men, okay? And this third one turns out is the reason why we're here today, okay?
Okay.
She presented herself as somebody who, you know, if I'm seeing somebody or whatever, I wouldn't even let another man come up to me and talk to me. She, you know, I think it's disrespectful. She presented herself like this woman with such strong boundaries and not, you know, entertaining other men. It almost was a lot. You know, for me, like if I'm seeing somebody, if they're exclusive with me, that's all I don't need you to know you said goodbye to someone because they said hi to you at the gym or you ran away. But she felt the need to explain to me it's a big deal to her. So I said, fantastic. Now, let's get to the first thing. We had these conversations about keeping children or not. And I should give you guys a little bit of background. Now you're going to get medical information, okay? Up until about 2.5 years ago, so 2.5 years ago, I went to the doctor, and essentially, I won't get to the long gist of the conversation because it's none of your fucking business. But the doctor kind of told me like, hey, listen, your sperm count's mad low. I don't think you have kids. So in my head, I'm like, shit, I didn't get a vasectomy. That's like kind of good news, but I wanted kids. Maybe I didn't know, but part of me was like, maybe I won't. So I meet this girl. We hit it off. You know, relationship's going great. You know what's crazy? You guys have never, ever seen any person I've been in a relationship or dated. And, yeah.
Let me address this real quick. All right. Just because the doctors say that your sperm count is low that doesn't mean that you're not going to get a woman pregnant. Because it's always that 1% possibility that she could get pregnant. This is the same narrative on if you were to use protection, like for us, like condoms or whatever. It always be that like 1% chance that something were to happen to the condom, where the condom probably end up failing, probably end up breaking, or whatever the case may be. There are even men out there who literally have got a vasectomy, and it's that little percentage chance that they still could get that woman pregnant, and it have happened that way. So once again, just by him thinking like that, that lets me know how immature he is with protecting his seed. So right off the bat, now keep in mind this. I'm pretty sure that he's thinking about this not only with this woman, right? But he's probably thinking about this with other women as well too. So imagine this. This dude here probably using his name, hey, I'm Abba. Using this name, using this notoriety, and getting with these women and sitting up here going in raw on all these women just because he think that he's not gonna get them pregnant, that he's a walking contraceptive. Nope, that ain't how that works. That ain't how that work, brother. So yeah, that's on you, bro. That situation is definitely on you, for real.
So this is my ex, okay? Libby Calian, all right? And this is the profile that I saw about her, okay? So here she is, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy, you know what I mean? She likes archery. She's a family person, you know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. So this is what I know about her, okay? She cute. I might have some beef with her now, but I'm never going to say she was ugly. She wasn't a Chinese escort, for everyone to ask. So anyways, I thought I was shooting blanks, you know, and we was getting it on, and it turns out I wasn't shooting blanks. Big surprise to the both of us. You guys, I don't know why, man. Everyone was messaging me like, "Abba, you stressed?" I'm like, I'm really not. Okay.
Dude, you are stressed, bro.
And we had a conversation about it. And initially, she's like, "Okay, we'll do."
And here's the thing about it. Hey, say Abba, this is the whole concept of what we talk about over here at the lounge. Bro, it is okay for you to be emotional. It is okay for you to be emotional. It's okay for you to be stressed, because that's part of you being a human. Now, what is not okay, if you take that emotion and enter into what is known as being hyper emotional, where you start making irrational decisions based on the hyper level of the emotions and the stress that you're receiving. Now, that's totally different.
And this is the only time that she ever told me she wanted to have a kid. And when she told me that, I said, okay, you know, like I wasn't expecting this, but if this is where it's turning, then I'm going to assume my responsibilities. But yeah, let's do this. So this happens, might have been November, October, I don't know. But at this point, my life changes a little bit at that point, because I'm in my head now focused on dealing with what's in front of me. I have a huge responsibility, so I'm shifting all things in my life to assume that responsibility. You know, I'm shifting my investments, I'm shifting my work stuff, and I have a hard time explaining this to you guys. I've never fathered a child before, but being a dad was something that I told myself if I was going to do, I would do it the right way. And so for me, it was really important that my life was in order. And even though I'm successful on YouTube and whatever it could be, and I'm doing fine financially, I'm doing great, I think there's a lot of things in my personal life that I could have in better order. You know what I mean? I could be in some better shape. I mean, take my health a little bit better, so I'm here for a long time. Mindset things, like I was really getting ready for the prospect of this. A week goes by, and all of a sudden, I start getting messages from her on a regular basis of her feeling unsure. And the whole...
Wait a minute. He was getting himself together for the prospect of this? What is he talking about? The prospect of this happening to him, or is he talking about the prospect of him being in a relationship with her? Maybe he'll reveal that. Because if he's talking about anticipating the prospect of this happening, then that means that this whole entire situation is a huge play. It's what they call on YouTube. Running the play is simply when people are scripting certain situations together to make it seem like it's the reality, it's the truth, but everybody is aware of what's going on. Everybody has a role in it. So is it that? And that's the reason why she decided to come out and do this, is because this one huge play? Or are you just referencing to the actual relationship itself, that you're getting ready for this actual relationship before it even happened? But let's see.
Time I'm being incredibly supportive. Don't worry, guys, I'm going to show evidence of this. But for me, it's very tough because from that point on and for the next 2.5 months, she flip-flopped between I'm not sure and I'm not going to have the child. Now, I could only be supportive because, as you know, this is a man's world. But when it comes to kids, babies got control, women got control. So even if I didn't want to have the kid, if she tell me no, then that's what it is. I told her how I felt. I told her why I wanted to go forward with it. She felt differently, and she would waver. And all I could do is be respectful and be supportive because at the end of the day, like, think about my options from my perspective. She's carrying my kid. If I stress her out, it may result in a miscarriage. If I make her feel alienated, it might push her toward abortion. All I can do right now for the health of the child and for her health as well is to be supportive. That's all I can really do. So that's what I did. And I tried. You know what I mean? I tried. And one time she said dead set on having an abortion, even though I was against it. And I flew down to be with her, not to convince her not to have the abortion, but to be there for her through it. Because it doesn't make sense to me to have a partner and they're going to go through something as traumatic as an abortion and I'm not there. Okay? We were committed. So I flew down. And let me see if I can find this in the notes here.
While he's looking for that, I want to present this interesting truth to y'all, okay? Now, what I'm about to reveal to y'all, a lot of men, y'all probably who probably be in a situation like this, y'all probably could very, very well relate to this, okay? There's a truth about what women does towards men. Well, let me rephrase it. What modern women does to men in these situations. What they do is this. They do this form of test to you, and it's like in a manipulative way. I want to present to y'all that the woman already know what choice they're going to make for us having the baby. They already made a choice. But however, they want to manipulate and see which way you're going to go. Like, for example, in Abba's situation, right? She already then made the choice that she wasn't going to have this baby to begin with in the first place. She already made that choice. But however, she wanted to see what he was going to say. And in reality, since she made the choice that she was going to have the abortion, in her sick mind, she wanted Abba to be on the same page with her. Since he wasn't on the same page with her, that she used this old manipulative tactic, right? And do what is known as reverse psychology. She'll use this reverse psychology tactic and say, okay, well, we can have the baby, but in reality, she really don't want to have the baby. Or it be in reverse, where if the dude immediately said, I don't want to have the baby, right, guess what she's going to do? She's going to have the baby. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Some of y'all probably been through that. Was sort of type of woman where you're like, hey, I don't want to have the baby. I don't want to have nothing to do with her. This whole situation is a mistake. So go ahead and have the abortion. They tell me, no, I'm not going to get an abortion. I'm going to have the baby. Not because it's the most logical thing to do, but simply because deep down inside, they want to have some type of connection with that dude. Regardless if they have a relationship with them or not. They want to have some type of connection, some type of bond with that dude. So they'll go ahead and have that baby, or be in the opposite way. Now, here's another one situation too that I want to throw out here too. Many gentlemen probably been through this. They would say that they are pregnant, right? But in reality, they're lying. Once again, they'll say that they are pregnant, but in reality, they're lying. Why would they do that? Glad you asked. The reason why they do that is because the moment when your dumb ass decide to go in raw, they're thinking cha-ching. They're thinking they done got paid. So they could easily finesse between $500 to $1,000 right off of you right off the bat because you don't want to have a baby with her. And so she could easily finesse $500 to $1,000 off of you. The only way we could get rid of this is that I have to get an abortion. Okay, well, how much is the abortion? Shoot, $1,000? Why is it that high? Because in my state, they don't do abortion, so I have to go to another state, and I have to travel and stuff, so it's going to be $1,000. It's going to be the only way, either that or you're going to have to deal with this child, and I'll put you on child support. Which one is it? Either way, gotcha. And so in most cases, these dudes will pay her off. Give her that money. Am I lying about that? I know I'm not lying. I know it's the truth. I know some of y'all have experienced that too. I know y'all have.
Sorry, boys and girls. Here it is. So I go down to let's say here. All right, so some of you be like, why do you have this, Abba? I'll tell you guys why I have this later, okay? But you guys are going to hear it. I would not accept that. And I know how you feel about it, and I understand. So right now what you guys are going to hear, this is a conversation that me and her had months later after most of this happened, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, continue going on.
And you're going to...
I knew you to know that, you're saying, like, you knew what I was I explained, like, the debilitating decision making, like, I was doing every day. I was going back and forth every day. I was just trying to figure out what to do, and I regret the way I handled it, and I feel like the first few weeks I was like thinking about you first. I feel like I was like in a triangle of like, okay, if I don't have the baby, then things can continue going on with Abba, but if I have the baby, then it's just like all this pressure with someone, I
understand that's what you thought in your head, but like I think the frustrating part for me is I literally flew down to be there for you for the abortion. I don't know how things were going to go afterwards, but like I would have supported you regardless. But when
it didn't seem like that. It didn't. You kept saying like you're never going to be the same.
But that's just true, right? Like you are not going to be the same either, and that's okay. Like I wasn't going to lie to you and tell you I was going to come out the other side one way, but I told you I'd be supportive and I'd be there for you regardless. I didn't go down there to convince you not to do it. I went down there believing you were really going to do it. That's why I went down there. And like you wanted to talk about it. I didn't even want to talk about it when I came down. You were trying to comfort me, and I said, it's okay.
But you were having a hard time, and I'm not going to argue with you. You don't think that I look at you and I don't care about how you feel. Like, you don't think at the time I'm like seeing you and I do love you, and I'm like looking at you and I'm like, this guy's devastated. And then a part of me is like, I also don't want to, but I'm like, again, I was like in this triangle where like, okay, if I don't have the baby, things can still move forward, because it's like we can still figure out if we're compatible. We can still figure all that out. And yeah, I don't think if the pregnancy happened, I don't think any of this would have happened. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm calling bullshit on that as well too.
That's bullshit.
She mentioned that she cared about this dude's feelings, right? She cared about how he felt about the situation, but in reality, she don't. She did not care about his feelings. She only cared about how she was feeling in that situation. Because if she truly cared about how the way he was feeling, then the overall consensus would be that you simply keep the child and y'all co-parent together, or whatever the hell y'all gonna do, either co-parent or get married or whatever you're gonna do. So yeah, that's some bullshit. That's some gaslighting bullshit for real. So talking about y'all care and I love you, but now I'm gonna throw this situation out here. And I know that this doesn't apply to her, but I'm make this in a general sense, okay? Now I can understand that if it was a situation that was going on with her that caused her to have either a hard pregnancy, or if she would have carried through the term of this pregnancy, that it would probably have ended her life. Now that situation, that's totally understandable. But in her situation, that's not it at all. Like I told y'all, she already made the conscious decision that she did not want to have this child, but allegedly, she said that she loved this dude and cared about his feelings. And ladies, those of y'all who are tuned in and listening to the show, I want y'all to understand this clearly too, what I'm about to say. I want y'all to understand this. Being in the point of view of a man, right? Y'all don't know how helpless, how powerless a man feels when you literally throw your body out there to say my body, my choice. Especially when it's dealing with having a baby. Throughout our whole entire life, as far as manhood concerned, right, in general, we're taught to be protectors. We're taught to be providers. We also are taught to take care of our responsibilities. Within that, we're also taught to hold ourselves accountable. So we have been taught all these different things in general as men, right? But when it comes to your body, guess what? Since you're saying your body, your choice, guess what? We can't protect your body, nor we can't even protect the seed or the child that's within your body. We can't do that. So therefore, it makes us feel helpless, make us feel powerless. And in some cases, depending on the man, it is on the highest level of emasculation that a man can go through. And I'm just being dead honest with you. There for you to sit up here manipulating and gaslight as well too and laugh about it, as though it's just a damn joke. Do y'all wonder why men be reacting the way that they be reacting towards you? You wonder why men end up eventually becoming like incels and different things like that. You wonder why, certain archetype of men end up literally going their own way. It's because when it comes to that particular situation, that moment, women will literally take the power away from their man. Lie to that man and say that, yeah, you could participate in this, but at the end of the day, we control this narrative. That is a horrible feeling that men go through. And if y'all don't understand it from that perspective, then y'all are evil as hell. For real. But let's continue, y'all. Shout out to everybody who's on tuning in.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I think I always told you the outcome I would have preferred. But I told you I would support you regardless, and I'd be there.
Therefore, so with
and I think I try to show up both emotionally and physically by being there in person I think I went out of my way to try to make that clear to you. And I also didn't lie to you. I didn't tell you I'm going to be fine, everything's going to be great. I told you, like, it's going to be tough on us. It's going to be tough on you. It's going to be tough on me. I don't know how I'm going to change afterwards. I can only tell you that I'm dreading it. And I think that's a reasonable and, like, mature response to the whole situation. You know, I don't need anyone to coddle me or anything like that. Like, I know these things are going to be difficult. And who knows, maybe it does break us. Who knows? But I would never force you into parenthood before you're ready. And I always told you that. So what I'm saying there is because she didn't want to have the kid, and I was saying I did, right? I told her, though, like, I'm not going to sit here and convince you to be a parent. I think that's weird. Like, I can't force someone to be a parent. So if I'm having a kid with somebody and I'm the one who wants it and they don't want it, I'm not going to force them into parenthood. So I told her what I felt, and then I stopped. I stopped.
And also, I want y'all to understand this, too. Y'all see the difference between how the way men logically think about situations versus how women think about situations? So when they deal with men logically thinking about the situation, he's thinking about the overall premises of it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. Even though the situation has happened, even though I'm taking responsibility, even though we both made a choice to do this, and preferably I made a choice to do this as well too. But when it comes to women, on the other hand, right, in the situation, they honestly believe that they could force the choice out of the person. Hence what I was saying earlier. They honestly believe that they can either force the dude to abort the baby or force the dude to become a father. That if he don't become a father, guess what? They're labeling him as a deadbeat dad, as an absent parent, and all these different other things as well too. But when it comes to men on the flip end of this, they don't be labeling women like that. They don't.
Trying to convince her to keep the kid. She didn't want to keep it. So, you know, I just accepted it and tried to be supportive, but I was in this really weird position. So I'll keep going. Always. And I understand you may have not felt that way, but I think you don't know from my perspective, like, I really tried to convey to you what I wanted whilst letting you know that I would have your back to the best of my abilities, whatever you choose. And I understand you might have felt differently. I'm just saying what I said and what I tried to do in terms of actions. Okay? Right? Because you didn't want me there for the abortion. Remember? I had to convince you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to be there for it. And I told you it's my responsibility. It was not to convince you. When I got there at the hotel, I was not trying to talk to you about it. And I know you were trying to say sweet things to me to tell me, like, we'll have more kids in the future, all this stuff. I was like, you don't have to say this stuff. It doesn't make me feel good, and it's okay. Like, I'm going to be there. We just got a big day tomorrow. Let's just get through it. And, like, that's me telling you I don't like what's happening, but I'm here because I care about you. You understand? So,
Yeah.
I think what's tough for me is, like, so she didn't want me there for the abortion. I flew down anyways. And the night before the abortion, she was talking to me. She was like, we can have more kids in the future. And I'm like, right before you're going to go end this, that's what you want to come for me with? So I'm like, just stop. It's okay. I'm not here to be a sour pout. I'm not pouting. It's okay. Let's just go through with this. I wake up in the morning and she canceled the abortion. So this is like the 9th time already that she's changed her mind between having it or not having it. And I can't stress this to you guys enough, how fucking debilitating and mentally breaking it is to have to deal with somebody changing their mind. Now, I'm sympathetic because I can imagine it's a stressful situation. You're deciding your future, you're hormonal. You know, I'm being as patient as I can be throughout the whole process. I'm not saying nothing because I don't know what it's like to carry a kid. But to be honest with you, it was tough on me, okay? The same way it was tough on her. I'm not here to villainize her or whatever. All my friends, listen, my friends don't, my friends have nothing nice to say about her, okay? They say she didn't have, we're pregnant, it's lying, whatever. I don't say any of that. Because I know, despite what the fuck she's doing now and all this goofy ass shit, she's not a bad person. least that's not the experience I had with her. Now, maybe I'm stupid, whatever it is, love struck, whatever you want to say, but I'm just not going to sit here and pretend like she's the demon or whatever. I just think it was a very stressful situation for two people who weren't ready at the time, and I think we just didn't handle it the best. And you guys are seeing it unfold publicly, and I think it's stupid that it's happening this way. But this narrative that I didn't want to have the kid or some baby drama is not real. For most of our relationship, it was me trying to tell her not to do it, okay? So that's what it is. And the reason why I just didn't want to do this vid or talk about this is because like it's personal and it's pretty traumatic. To be honest with you, I'm still grieving that whole experience and I haven't been good afterwards. It's a tough thing to deal with, thinking you're going to live life one way, and it's like very difficult. And I'm probably going to mourn that for a long time, okay? And I don't want to talk about that with you guys, but here we are. And I'm okay with people making rumors about me. I've heard all kinds of rumors, all the craziest things you can imagine. But seeing my ex do something like this is like, to me, it's a bit loserish, to be honest with you. And it is disappointing, but I think I understand. No, I don't get why, but it doesn't matter. Let's keep going with this, okay? So what happens during this period? So there's about a 2.5 month period after she told me where she's flip-flopping all the time, scheduling abortions, canceling, and like I'm going through hell, okay? And if you guys go back and watch some of them lives during that period, you can see it. I even talk about it, and I'm down in these bottles like nothing, all right? Because that whole 3-month period, 4-month period, whatever the fuck it was, I don't remember. Time was not real to me. I would wake up and it felt like I was fucking floating and I was, at the mercy of some bullshit. But I just try to be quiet, be supportive, and just try to do what I can because I.
And once again, I want to keep reiterating this over and over again because we don't hear from the one point of view of men who go through situations like this. Okay, we only hear from the point of view from the woman. When she's going through, her trimester, she's trying to battle it out to figure out if she's going to go through this or not. Then when she do go through this, we hear about the woman even more where she's experiencing a form of postmortem, after when the abortion had happened. And we hear these stories about women, and all the time we hear these type of stories because it's popular, because it's, it's sensationalism, in other words, but we never hear from the men's part. The men always get left out of the story every single time. And so on the flip side, men do go through the same exact thing. They do be going through this grieving period because you're literally done killed their life. This ain't just a little seed. It's not just a little cell or embryo or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? It's literally a living, breathing life that you decide to unalive. And so, men do go through that process as well, too. They go through that grieving process. They really do. Especially if they cared about their woman, especially if they're a type of man who really did wanted to have a child, and it just happened the way it did, and that woman decided to make this decision, and you don't have nothing. You can't do nothing about it. You feel, that's why I told y'all earlier. You'll feel absolutely helpless. You don't know what to do. So in that situation where Albert talking about, he was doing this thing, he felt helpless. He was up here, distressed out. He don't know what's going to go on. This dude drinking and stuff. I feel him on that. I really do. I really do. But other people don't understand that because they only see it from the woman's point of view, and that's it.
I just wanted her health to be okay because she was not handling the pregnancy well. She was having mood swings and wilding. The way she was talking to me during that period was crazy. And at first I wasn't understanding of that, but, I did my own research on what hormones and pregnancies do to a woman, and, your boy learned some things. So my own red lines weren't very difficult, okay? The two things I asked her is like, I don't want any kind of baby mama business. What does that mean? I ain't just trying to get pregnant and see how things go, okay? So when it comes to having children, ideally we do with intentionality. Now some of you might say, well, probably shouldn't fuck her raw. I'm gonna hold the L. Like I said, Doc told me everything's cool, but it's still my fault. So Abba can hold some L's. You know what? Let me go through all the L's that I wrote down because I did write these down before I even knew any of this happened, okay? Abba's many L's, shit. Okay, here we
Go ahead.
I wrote a bunch down because I take some L's, and you know what I mean? Your boy's not against admitting to his faults. Abba chose her. That's a big time L. All right, that's on me. Whatever she's doing right now, at the end of the day, I chose her, so that's on me. Abba ignored some red flags. That's a big time L, okay? And I will tell you guys why. Before she got pregnant, I think. I tried to break up with her one time. And she roped me back in, but at the end of the day, I allowed myself to get roped back in. So before any of this crazy shit happened, Abba's gonna hold the L because he ignored some big ass red flags that he saw, but he decided to ignore because he said, we're gonna work through it. And I think this is one of those times where I'm like, working through it is not bad, just don't do it for the wrong person. And Abba needs an L for that. Abba didn't leave when he felt it was time. That's another L, 3 times total, okay? Another L, Abba got her pregnant. I'm also messaging that one to my doc. My doc lied to me, okay? And the 6th one, and this is the one that I think I'm probably most accountable for, Abba engaged in fights that she started when he should have walked away. Now, I'm talking third person because I wrote that in my notes, but that's what I did, okay? There were some arguments that we had that she would, I'm be honest with y'all, look through the thread. I could post these if she fucking want to go there. But she would initiate these things. And she,
before you go into details about the fights, right? This is all that I am requiring for us as brothers is simply to hold yourself accountable. That's it. Hold yourself accountable, learn from the mistakes that you made, and move on and better yourself behind it. Now, with that being said, notice that Abba had no problem with letting you know all the discrepancies that he had dealt with, all the things that he made a conscious decision to do. But however, when we reacted to her video, guess what she do? Just like every typical modern woman would do. They do not hold their own self accountable. They will immediately become the victim right then and there. And they will paint this whole entire narrative or story that they are the victims and this dude is the villain. Every single time.
She'd have a habit of like pushing this button. And I was like, yo, you tripping. And then she would push it. And then I would retaliate. And then she would go, I would never. How could you say that? And I can't tell y'all how much that shit is triggering. But to be involved with somebody you can't walk away from and they push your fucking buttons and then you say something and they act like they never did nothing. Mm-hmm. I remember I even sent her a message one time. And I started like cataloging at some point.
My ex-wife used to do that a whole lot. Used to she always found some type of way to trigger me to try to push my buttons, and she would be successful at it. Because back then, I ain't gonna lie, your boy wasn't fully developed. He wasn't fully mature mentally, how the way I am now. But she would just find every little thing, every little crack to try to trigger me. And she'd do it. She'd be successful behind it. And trigger me. And trigger into these whole unnecessary fights and stuff. And it'll become a whole toxic situation. Later on down the line, I found out the reason why she was doing these little things. I found out later down the line the reason why she's doing these things because she has seen that as a form of intimacy. Which is the reason why a lot of these women who do that, I'm pretty sure Abba's ex was doing the same thing with him because she'd been taught that this is a form of intimacy. Being toxic is a form of intimacy. It turns them on. It makes them wet. That's why they do it.
What the tactics felt like every time we would have a disagreement. And I'm gonna show it to you guys because this is like from our own threads. I actually sent it to her to be like, I know this is gonna happen. And you know what's crazy? After I would send it to her, I'm like, all right, here's a fight's about to start. I would send her this message being like, this is what I think is gonna happen. One of these 4, let's see which one happens. I swear she would start hitting 1, 2, 3 like it was bingo. Okay, so this is what it was. So here it was. It would go, complain about how you feel without understanding how the other feels. Okay, downplay your part in all of it. Number 3, frame yourself as the wronged party in every discussion. And number 4, pretend to be accountable, but end everything with, yeah, I was wrong, but you were more wrong. Now.
Mm-hmm. By the way, all 3 of them things is the formula for a narcissistic person.
I'm not going to sit here and say she was more wrong or I was less wrong, okay? That is always going to be subjective or whatever. But at the end of the day, if two people have an argument and both do something wrong, saying you were more wrong for this and you were more, it seems pointless. Like trying to tally up these things, it just feels like everything you say afterwards is bullshit because you're always positioning yourself as the person who's aggrieved and the other one's the aggressor and they need to like really be, apologizing. Every argument we would have would be one of these four. And it just got so exhausting. And at one point, I just stopped. I literally would not talk because every disagreement that we would have would end up in one of these four. And I was like, nigga, I'm tired. Now you guys are hearing all this and you're like, but why would you ever stay? Because like I said, you guys are hearing now the negative side. But there's actually a good side to her. She can be very kind. She can be very caring. She can be very thoughtful. In fact, this backpack is a gift she got me, which I'm a big fan of. She got me the AirPods I'm using right now. She would be very, listen, I'm not gonna get to all things, but I'm not here to position her as like some gold digging. Like she never asked me for money, even though I spent way more in terms of traveling and stuff like that. But there was a lot of good times. I honestly think that if there was no pregnancy, I don't know how things would have gone, okay? But unfortunately, it did happen. And like a pregnancy just accelerates everything. It changes the whole dynamic. It just does. So, to me, more than anything, all this is just sad. It's unnecessary to me. But let's keep going. All right, I see so many questions, and I'm going to see, y'all just give me some time, okay? Shout out to all the new members. I see Sasha Kerr. We got Dizzy. We got Rob Paps.
Real quick, while he doing these shout outs, make sure that y'all sub up to the channel. If you're not sub up to the channel, and I'm not talking about Albert and Preach, because I know majority of y'all will sub up to that channel. I'm talking about the Urban Lounge Podcast, y'all. Make sure y'all sub up to the Urban Lounge Podcast if you're not sub up. And also do me a favor, go ahead and hit that thumbs up to support the channel as well too. All right, those of y'all who are tuning in right now, we are reacting to Abba right now. He is giving his surviving Abba story. He's letting us know his part about his ex who had came out on him earlier today and revealing that he was trying to be an absent father, absent parent, and he wanted to be a father, but he decided to abort their baby that they wanted to have. Well, he wanted to have, according to him, but she says differently. All right. So we already reacted to her video earlier. If you missed that, then you could go to the beginning of this show and you could see this video. All right. So let's continue.
We got Rafez. We got Apayeb. Abba always with the receipts. To be honest, I'm not even going to show you guys most of the receipts because it would need to give you guys entire threads. And at the end of the day, it's regular relationship. Nothing that happened between us is beyond the pale or so insane. We would have these arguments. Honestly, our arguments in the grand scheme of things are pretty tame compared to most people. So, yeah. Yeah, so let's see here. We got Jesse, shout out to you for being a member. We got Zondi, appreciate you. Oh, yeah, I know you. Sweet Dreamer of Art. Someone said, Truth Seeker, donate $10. Yo, Ab, I don't care about any of this. I just want to know, are you still friends with Destiny or if you guys ever be friends in the future? I'll be super honest, I'm not friends with Destiny. I don't got to beef with Destiny. At the end of the day, I just don't care for a lot of the things that he was generally involved in, and we just had this conversation. We had the conversation on stream and off stream, which is he likes his life a certain type of way, and if people don't like it, to get out. So I got out. That was his words, and at the end of the day, I don't think it's reasonable for me to stay in somebody's life and to expect anything or ask anything, so I don't. So shout out to Destiny. I'm glad that he's doing what he does. And in terms of politics, we still pretty much align on many things. Probably not Israel-Palestine, but a lot of other stuff. And that's the honest truth of it. As far as the whole court case thing and whatever, I haven't followed any of it. Don't really give a shit. Don't care about Pixie. Don't care about any of the people involved that he introduced me to. That's it. Hopefully that answered that question. Nikisha says she wasn't ready, and that's okay. You also had the right to mourn the baby and what could have been. That stuff is going to get more complicated, so I'll get to that more after, okay? But like I said, this is all like normal breakup stuff. This whole idea of painting one person one way and the other way, like, I'm not, bitch, you better get an abortion. It's not what happened, okay? But anyways, let's keep going with the story, because I'm going to do my best to also try and advocate for her position, because she viewed some situations differently than me. That's normal in any relationship. But, yeah. All right, let's go on. So, fast forward. We are trying to work things out. She's canceled abortion. She's changing her mind every night. And I'm trying to smooth things out, make things comfortable. During this time, it's difficult. But, all I asked her is, like, I will work through anything with you. You can get mad. You can be upset. We will figure it out. The only thing I ask, and this is the one thing I asked her, don't cut me out. Don't say I'm your partner and then decide I'm not involved at all. That's the only thing I ask. You have the final say in regards to that's fine, but just consult with me. Just ask me. That's it. I don't need you to convince me or whatever, but you can't cut me out. You can't arbitrarily. And that's what she did. She did that repeatedly. And she didn't just do like normal forms. Like one time, so right after we went down for the abortion thing, and she changed her mind, obviously this was a seismic shock to me. I did not expect her to cancel the abortion appointment. So for the next 3 days, I'm processing, because I'm like, I don't know where this is going. I'm not human anymore, because I'm just flipping back and forth. And our communication dies down a little bit. And from her perspective, what she felt was I was done with her because I wasn't messaging her as often. And from my perspective, what I was experiencing was like, I don't know where the fuck this is going. And I'm floating, okay? That's the best way I can describe it, because life is not real. Now, her being upset because communication's a bit down, perfectly valid. She texts me and she says, shit, I think I might have these messages. Let me see if I got these. And if I don't, I'm going to screenshot the fuck out of them. Because she sent this shit via text. And I'm like, this is not real life.
Albert,
you know what? It'll take me too long to find them. But if she says this is not true, I'll go.
Come on now, Albert. Come on now. So you already had the audio recording set, right? You already had that set, but you don't have the text messages set? Come on now, bro. You know better than that.
That's bullshit.
You know better than that, bro. What the hell? Come on now.
Find the text message. She texts me and she goes, you're out of the pregnancy. I'm going to handle this by yourself since you haven't messaged me back. You're out. So first off, I'm like, since when do you want to keep this thing? 1, 2, what do you mean you cutting me out? Like, so I text her very calmly. I'm like, yo, call me. She don't do that. She starts going off, and then I calm her down. We get on a call. We start smoothing things over. But now my anxiety is a bit up because I'm like, this woman is going willy-nilly say I'm not in it anymore, which is a crazy thing to experience. Fast forward some time, and for me, this is like a point where I'm starting to think, like, maybe I don't want to be involved with her in any shape, way, or form. Because not only can she constantly change her mind on me, but she can tell me I'm not part of things whenever she wants it. She thinks that's acceptable. She didn't just also tell me that. She also canceled all of her plans. Canceled her Christmas plans, her New Year's plans. And so I was like, yo, your boy can. From there, she gets very upset with me considering ending things between the two of us.
So my question is this. Once again, I revealed that this situation is stressing him, right? So my question is this. Why did he feel that it was appropriate for him to drink some libations while he's doing his live? Because that is what it is he's drinking, right? Some libations, right? I don't think it's water, because water is not going to make you sweat like that. So I'm kind of curious why he felt that he needed to do this.
And this is something that she would do throughout when I would think about ending things, okay? And I don't like showing this because to me, this is something that should stay private. She had told me that she was thinking of harming herself, okay? Now, this is not the first time. This is now the second or third time she's done this. All right. Okay. So You guys can see these messages.
Bro, tripping.
I can't explain to people what it's like to be in this scenario where you think your partner is going to kill themselves and they're pregnant, which is like, but I'm literally frantically texting her, triple texting, quadruple texting, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to stop someone from killing themselves. So I'm not going to apologize. Okay. You can read the thread. You see me saying, you cut me out of the pregnancy, you're cutting me out of the abortion, you cut me out of the relationship. Like, I'm explaining to her my frustration, be like, and she says, I'm going to kill the baby. Okay?
Wait a minute, what's she saying?
I called the cops. I'm not even going to apologize.
Hold up.
And maybe, I don't know if this is crazy, I've never spoken about this portion.
Hold up, bro. But what she say that at? I'm going to sleep. Stop doing what you want for once and answer the call, you text and everything. This same thing she showed, right? And you can give the courtesy one call, blah, blah, blah. I told you, you're doing it again. You're cutting me out. Okay.
I can't explain to people what it's like to be in this scenario where you think your partner is going to kill themselves and they're pregnant, which is like, but I'm literally frantically texting her, triple texting, quadruple texting, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to stop someone from killing themselves. So I'm not going to apologize.
Yeah,
okay.
I see that.
You can read the thread.
Okay. This part, I want to see it. You cut me out of the pregnancy. You cut me out of the abortion. I'm going to kill the baby. Okay. You cut me out of the relationship. You're right. That's what I'm doing. And now you're cutting me out of the suicide. It's all fucked up, isn't it? What is he? What? That don't sound like she's trying to unalive herself. It sounds like that they're continuing the conversation of talking about having this abortion. Because literally, when you have an abortion, that's literally what you're kind of doing. It's a suicide type thing, except that it's a controlled one.
You see me saying, you cut me out of the pregnancy, you're cutting me out of the abortion, you cut me out of the relationship. Like, I'm explaining to her my frustration, be like, and she says, I'm going to kill the baby. Okay?
Okay. All right. So, my partner wants to kill herself, our baby. He's saying that. My partner wants to unallow herself from the baby and won't call me, and she thinks I'm calling the cops and five. Wait a minute. I'm not home. I'm calling them and giving your license plates. I tell them your make and model, took pictures of your car. What the hell? This shit don't even sound right, bro. What the hell? And then even on here, she never said this. He's saying this. So what is he talking about? He's saying this.
I called the cops.
And so he literally going back and reading it to try to make sure that he could continue with this narrative, bro. What the fuck?
That's bullshit.
Bro, that whole thread didn't say nothing about her unaliving herself. What is he talking about? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, this is kind of hyper emotional, bro. This is hyper emotional for real. Because like I said, I don't see nowhere on there. See, I don't think Alba anticipate people going back on this live and literally going step by step and reading the stuff. He expected, his fans to just look at it like, oh, okay, and don't think nothing of it. But sure, when you get people like me who are analytical, I'm going to read the shit out of everything. And I'm going to give an unbiased perspective about it. And so on there, I didn't see that at all. I don't know what this dude talking about, bro. That's weird.
I called the cops. I'm not even going to apologize. And maybe, I don't know if this is crazy, I've never spoken about this portion with anybody, but I called the cops. not because I wanted her in jail, because I didn't want her to kill herself while no one's around. Mind you, this person lives, where does she live? She lives a 5-hour flight away from me. So I'm on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast. There's no way I can just go to her door myself. So mind you, I'm trying to be supportive from a distance. So here it is. She says she's not home, she's doing all this other shit, and I'm stressing the fuck out. I did call the cops. I needed her to see that I'm being fucking serious. Cops are on the way. I'm giving them the license plate and everything. Like, you know, I'm contacting people in her life I've never spoken to. I know about them because she tells me about them. I'm contacting everyone because I need to make sure she's not going to be successfully killing herself. Okay? She took her sleeping pills.
Okay, so since you're not responding, now contact everybody else. I don't believe you either answer the phone or prove it. You say you took drugs. She said, I took sleepy pills and I'm sleeping in my truck. I said, I just wanted to get through the day. So if she, once again, if she's simply saying that she's going to unalive herself, then why did she say that? Why did she say she just want to get through the day? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't sound like a person who's trying to unalive themselves. That sounds like a person who took drugs so they could go to sleep in their truck. Because if she was trying to do that, she wouldn't say, I said I just wanted to get through the day. She wouldn't have said it at all, period. So far, once again, for us, what I'm seeing is that it is him who's making that assumption that this is what she's trying to do, versus her actually saying it. Now, if we continue on through this thread and she literally says that she trying to unalive herself, then yeah, I will retract my statement. But so far, I don't see that. I see him saying that, but not her.
She claims she was sleeping in her car, whatever it was. Okay, so this is something else you're going to learn about me today, which I never thought I'd tell you. But me personally, if I love somebody, like, I will fucking blow through a wall for them, okay? And I don't, if I see my person suffering, I don't know, I see red. It's kind of how I am. So yeah, I tried. Genuinely, through multiple suicide attempts, I tried to do whatever I can to convince her to not do it. And yeah, she would use that shit. I personally, now looking back, I feel like a bit of it was manipulative because it would often happen when I would try to end things. You know, one time, the first time she used her sister, who has an addiction problem.
Yeah, that whole story, if he's not going back and literally showing that she said this in this thread, then that's some bullshit out of the way, bro.
That's bullshit.
This dude here is no different from what she's doing. He really not. Because once again, I'm sitting up here reading this in real time, the whole entire thread, and I did not see nothing where she said she literally was trying to unalive herself. Now, I seen where he was making the assumption that that's what she was talking about. The only thing that came close to unaliving was her talking about this abortion, that she finally made the decision that she's going to have the abortion. That's the only thing I seen.
Ended things before the pregnancy, I think, and she hit me up talking about her sister relapse, and me, like a fucking dummy, you know, I immediately went to being concerned and caring for her rather than asserting my own boundaries and staying away from her. But I don't know. This is a fault I have, and this is another L for me. So I'll take that. Okay? If I love somebody, I'm trying, and I won't feel bad for that, because if it's for the right person, I don't think that's a bad thing. But obviously, it was not for the right person, so here we are. Okay?
Oh, also, and Frank, yes, I am using my critical thinking skills. That's why in the beginning, I had rewinded back and started over to hear what he was talking about in that thread. We rewinded twice and seen that he was saying the same exact thing. So yes, he is the one who's making the assumption that she wanted to unalive himself. And I did that intentionally because I wanted to understand from both people's perspective. Now, one thing y'all got to understand over here at the lounge is that I am unbiased until people prove me otherwise. Okay? Now, even though I'm for the brotherhood, stuff like that, I'm all about calling out bullshit as well, too. I don't give a damn about it. I'm not one of these like red pill content creators that you be for the brotherhood even when they be doing dumb stuff and you still want to be for the brotherhood. Hell no, not over here. Nope. If you doing dumb stuff, I'm gonna call it out and say, yeah, you doing dumb stuff, bro, or that don't sound right. I'm sure now. And so once again, this situation now is he making this assumption that she said that. Unless he could prove it otherwise, he show like other text messages where she literally is saying that, then once again, I'll retract my statement. No problem. I have no problem with it. You know, Lionel did say that. He said, remember, he manipulated this from jumping. It kind of, just by this situation, right, it kind of made me think about that, right? Because what is the overall premise of this? The overall premise is that Abba wanted to keep this child, right? He wanted to keep this child. So due to her not wanting to keep this child, he's acting like a hyper-emotional male and creating this whole new narrative to paint her as the villain. The question you should be asking yourself is this: why? Why would he do something like this? Why would anyone would do this to a person that they say they care about and love? And this is the reason why. When a person does this, right, they want to do what is known as severing the connection. The best way how you could sever that connection is to paint them as this horrible villain, to slander them. And both men and women do this to each other. It's almost as though as they put themselves into this whole narrative to literally and absolutely break their heart completely, where they don't have no feelings for him anymore, where they become numb. And so they create this slanderous narrative towards each other. She's doing it with him. He's doing it with her. Because if that is the case, he wouldn't have mentioned none of this. He wouldn't have mentioned nothing about her unaliving. He wouldn't even be mentioning about her family and drug problem, because her family and drug problem don't have nothing to do with their relationship. But he's doing that for his audience to paint this narrative, just like what she was doing. And the sad part about it, and I done talked about this over here at the lounge too, the sad part about it is that we have individuals who be watching these content creators, right? And they develop such a parasocial relationship, right? Where they'll believe any old damn thing without questioning it. Them dudes could say any old crazy thing, or these content creators could say any old damn thing, and they'll just believe it right off the bat without questioning it. But not over here. Not at all. But let's continue, y'all.
And I'll say this too, guys. I'm not sitting here showing you guys like, oh, Abba's such a great person, whatever. No, like during our arguments, I would say things I wasn't the most proud of, and I'll own the fact that I was a big piece of shit during those times, okay? But those were also arguments I never initiated, never really feel like I was deserving, and that she would push. So it's just like, when you're fucking held to the end of a gun and someone pushes you, you're gonna say some shit. Does it make it okay? No. And I'm gonna have to hold that L, but I can also say, I ain't never been through this before. Never had someone who pushed me to this point. My girl here.
Notice what he said. He said that he never had a woman to push him to this point. What point is he talking about? The point that I just made earlier.
You know what I mean? My girl here, she pushed me to that point, all right?
Now keep in mind, he also said that he don't care. This situation overall doesn't bother me, y'all. That's what he said in the beginning. And he kept reiterating that over and over again. At the end of the day, this situation don't bother me, y'all. But yet it's still, he's not bothered behind it, but he's letting us know how bothered he is behind it. And on top off, right, he's drinking libations. Because if it's not bothering you, then why you need to do all that?
This shit tastes so good today. I will say, Koreans, if you're a Korean and you're watching, this has got to be the pride of your fucking country. This is the most delicious alcoholic beverage. And the reason why I can do this, guys, to you, unfiltered, raw, the way she got it, is I told you guys like this at the beginning. I gave everything. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed at all. I gave everything, bro. And I don't know, afterwards I was kind of broken up about it. And honestly, I probably did some stupid things after the fact that I shouldn't have done while I was in that period. And I still need to recover. It's going to take me some time to get those pieces back. I'm going to make some more tracks. But I really did give everything. And I'll never be ashamed of that. So that's where I'm at with that right now. I'll keep going with this story. But right now, you know what I need? I need to hear some good stuff.
Oh, hell no. We ain't listening to no goddamn music. Fuck no. You ain't listening to get me flagged, bro. Let's kind of speed this shit up. What is he doing? Is he dancing or what? Hold up. All right.
But yes.
Bet.
All right. Oh. Let's keep going.
Now, keep in mind, he's saying he needs some music and stuff, but he's not bothered by it at all, period.
So, fast forward. We worked through some of these suicide attempts, which I now feel like it's a bit manipulative, in my personal opinion. And, we get to the next portion. And the next portion is things are smooth. We've worked it out. We made up. We kissed. Okay? There was some lovey-dovey business going on. All right? Mm-hmm. And fast forward to a month after the fact. Oh, actually, there's some context that does need to be said. During this period where we're having these talks and we're unsure, or she's unsure more. Let me make sure I have that video here. Okay, so you guys are now going to get to see one of my most private notes, okay? I want y'all to pay attention to the date. This is before we were broken up. You can see it at the top over here, all right?
Let's see it.
Boom, okay? Now, if you guys are wondering why it's written like this, it's because this is a voice memo that I recorded that I turned into a note to share with her some of my feelings that I've been feeling, okay? So I'm going to read it out to you guys.
All right, so he's getting ready to reveal to us how the way he feel about her. This is what Lionel called the crying in the rain, all right? We literally got a framework with this, when men do this. So we call this the crying in the rain. So, all right, let's hear his crying of the rain.
It says, and for me, one thing that's important is that any child I do bring into this world, that I'm actively part of their life. That means that I'm seeing them on a regular basis and that I'm very close to their mother, ideally married. That's the best situation for me, and that we are together. That's what I truly, truly want. My biggest fear is that I have the opposite of that, that if I end up, what I want to say there is that if I end up in a situation we're distant, I can't spend time with my kid, and there's a separation of sorts, that prospect terrifies me, okay? And the reason I bring that is that the deepest parts of myself, there are some parts of you that are worried or are a bit nervous that you are still very much on the fence, that you aren't very certain, which at this stage isn't even an abnormal thing. And the reason why I'm saying that is like, we aren't deep enough into our dating journey for her to be certain about me, okay? So I can understand, and especially being pregnant, hormonal, I'm seeing it from her perspective. I can understand why she might be on the fence about the relationship still, okay? Which at this stage isn't even abnormal. But the potential outcome of us bringing this child and then you realizing this only afterwards terrifies the shit out of me. I want to bring it up to you because I'm not just mentioning this out of the blue. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. I do feel over the time that we've known each other, you've brought up a lot of problems that you have with me, be it the way I run my personal stuff, the way I talk, my judgment, you stuff relating to my past quite a lot. And yes, you've moved past it. So for more...
Before he explained this, she did reveal on her video that that Abba had a certain way of talking to her, right? She said that, he know how to articulate himself very well, but he also know how to be very manipulative too, depending on the situation. All right. Now, those of y'all who didn't see this video, you could go back and go back to the beginning of the show and you can watch the video, and she is going to mention it. So everything what he's saying in his song Crying in the Rain moment, she have said it as well too. All right, but that's in her way.
Context, she's like mentioned, okay, again, not trying to vilify her. She would bring up a lot of problems. Some of them I felt were very ridiculous, personally. And some of the stuff she should have known before she got with me. And someone saying like, I have a problem with your past is a weird thing to say, considering like I am who I am publicly. So why would you come out all of a sudden and say that to me? Or like my sense of humor or things like that. Like, it's just like, lady, you're going to do this now, but she had issues. You're entitled to those. My main issue is you are here now, and here at the 11th hour, you want to bring up stuff that you should have known beforehand, so then why are you doing that? But it's her right. I'm saying essentially if you have these problems, and we have this kid, and it's irreconcilable, that's an issue for me, okay? But I just want you to understand that the mounting of things that I felt like I've been cutting up that have become sources of issues for us, it makes me wonder if you're simultaneously both loving me and at the same time not sure if I'm the man for you. And as far as I'm being asked to change some aspects of myself and some very core to me, I worry that some of these are irreconcilable differences. And yeah, my concern is bringing a kid into that situation. It's a bit scary. So I wanted to kind of just share that with you, what I'm thinking. And yeah, I can handle you not wanting me. I can't handle having a child with you and then finding that out. There you go. Okay, you guys can see it there on the screen. And I think that's a fair statement. You know, my thing wasn't the fear of being a co-parent. Guys, relationships get together, they break up sometimes. That's okay. That happens. The only thing I told her, the one thing that I didn't want when we would have conversations is I don't want to go into a baby mama situation. I don't want to have a kid with somebody and we're already broken up. That's like, no, that's the one thing I don't want, okay? I'm fine if we try and we go to therapy and we go to counseling and we do everything. We love each other, so let's try. And then if we break up afterwards, I can live with that. We did what we could. My issue with her is that I started to feel like she didn't want to try, okay? So she knows this. That's the
Which that is a fair assessment, by the way, because that's like what I said earlier when we was reacting to her side of the story, right? We did reveal that she was making decisions based on how the way she was feeling. And then she only included him as a form of a manipulative tactic, okay?
The only thing I asked this entire time, she's never told me that she wanted a kid. All she's told me is that she's unsure or she doesn't want it. She's scheduling an abortion. So this whole time, I've been fighting for the relationship, fighting to keep the kid, okay? And you guys, I have much more examples of this, but I'm not trying to go through everything because your boy trying to go dancing tonight, okay? Fast forward, things are going better, okay? I think that I'm enjoying a good relationship, that we've figured things out, we've worked through it. And when you work through things, you feel closer to the person. Like, damn, me and this motherfucker been fighting through shit. You know what I mean? I'm out dancing one Thursday, the same way I'm going to be dancing tonight. I get a call from her. Can we talk? Immediately at the middle of the dance, I'm like, She's like, you can get home and we'll talk then. But
Them famous words, can we talk? Yep, that's bullshit too.
That's bullshit.
whatever inside of me felt off, okay? I said, no, I'm going to leave, which I never do. But, you know, this is the future mother of my children, the person I'm supposed to maybe marry. I don't know. So I go home, I get on the call. I want to say that I maybe said 5 words, and she did most of the talking. And you know what I'm going to say, guys? There's nothing worse than when someone breaks up with you, okay, and they want to say a bunch of compliments. It is the most fucking exhausting thing. It's like, bitches, get this shit over with. I said it in the voice message, right? The voice note that you guys saw before. I can handle you not wanting me. I can't handle you not wanting me after the child is here. Yeah. So I said, I can handle you not wanting me. I can't handle having a child with you and then finding that out. Cool. Up until now, she never wanted a kid. She tried to have multiple abortions. Okay? Tell me how this lady gets on a call with me and says, I'm ending the relationship and I'm keeping the baby. Oh, shit. Think about this. Bukai! Yo, when I say I was floored, I didn't say a word. I was so blown away. I was like, is this real life? And now, and I literally never saw it coming. She never spoke to me, never gave me a heads up. And I'll prove it to you guys, okay?
Before he proved this, all right? Did I not just tell y'all this earlier? About this is part of what modern women do, and it's part of their tactic for what they do, right? They always would do the opposite. And the reason why they do this opposite thing, because they'll do any possible thing to have some type of connection with you, right? But to make you feel some type of way at the very same time. So this situation ain't even different, you know what I mean? She only said that because she knew it was going to hurt him. Because at that moment, she was feeling hurt. So she needed to feel something from him. She needed to feel some type of emotional exchange. That's why she said it. But deep down inside, she really don't want to, deep down inside, she want to get to abortion now.
Don't worry, there's proof. Guys, the call, the way it ended, I'll tell you what she said. And she was giving me a speech. Oh, you are so amazing. You're the best. Blah, 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 blah. And okay, peep this. Peep this. She gets to the end and she says that. And my first reaction, I'm still in shock because this is the one outcome I asked her not for. And she blindsided me with it. And I said,
she wanted to hurt
okay,
you, bro. That's why.
Just keep me updated. Bye. And you guys might think that reaction is crazy, but having her cut me out already a couple times, for her to do that this way and for the kid thing to be dropped that way was insanity. I can't tell you, this is by far the worst betrayal anyone's ever done to me. And I'll probably process that for a while, to be honest with you. But I was fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. That night, I think I might have played video games for like 2 hours and passed out and just tried to live. The next day I texted her, I'm like, you know what? If you could lie to me this whole time and keep me in the dark about this and then fuck me up with the betrayal that big, I don't want to co-parent with you. I said, listen, if you're gonna have it, I prefer if you didn't, because you've been wanting to have this abortion this whole time. I said to her, I prefer if you didn't, but if you're gonna do it, whatever. Oh, is that preach? Oh, you gonna jump in? They thought you hated me.
No, because I wasn't.
Were you listening the whole time?
Yeah.
How is it?
Good job.
Okay.
Good job. It's just that I was in the show an hour and a half away from here.
Yeah. She said when Preach finds out, he gonna leave y'all. I was like, you stupid as fuck, bitch.
Shit, you stupid as fuck.
All right.
I'm sorry. Let me shut that off, because
Yeah.
I was in my car. I was driving. I left. I was an hour and a half away from here.
Yeah.
I was on stage at 8. I left at 8:15. It's 9:03.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
You know,
because you said you want to do this tomorrow, but I'm like,
Oh, hold on. Bro came running. Bro was exhausted. He was exhausted. I had to get here. God damn. Out of breath and everything.
Just can't wait. I want to go out dancing tonight.
I didn't know that's what you. I didn't understand that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Until I realized I put the dots together, one on one together, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It is that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You took the whole spot. You moved.
Because I was going to do some dancing. I set up a camera. I was going to do some dancing later. We will get a little session in. All right. So I'll keep going from where I'm at. So
you good? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. To be honest, I'm actually good. I told them the same thing I told you.
I know, bro,
He's
but
not
I'm
good.
just, yeah.
I know. I appreciate you.
He's
A
not
couple of
good.
boys hit me up. I said, listen, guys. But anyways, let's
I
keep
didn't
going.
hit you. Yeah, no, just speak your shit.
Yeah.
Talk your shit.
So it was, for me, the worst betrayal, to be honest. And I'll own up to this. It's not a responsible thing to respond the way that I did. But I hope you guys understand the shock that I had in the moment. And with a few months, I might have changed in my mind. To be honest with you, co-parenting with someone like her, I just can't imagine it. She is the way she handled this whole shit was demonic, okay? I'll still defend her in a lot of regards, but I'm glad, like, one of the most happy parts, guys, like the reason why I can smile today is like as fucked up all this drama is, I don't got to co-parent with her. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to be tethered to this person for the rest of my life. I will be eternally grateful for that. I'm sad about other parts. There's some things I'm mourning, but just imagine how crazy all this is and you guys are going to do your clicks. I don't mind. Go crazy. I ain't going to trip. But at the end of the day, I'm okay. What do you want to say?
No, I'm just waiting for the juicy part.
Okay.
The part where I get to call her a witch.
So, when she hears that
Hey. Hey, Lionel, who Preach remind you of, bro? In this particular moment, who Preach remind you of? Preach remind you of yourself, right? Because when I was when I was telling Lionel about my story, this Negro said the same exact thing. He said, "Man, let's get to the part where we could get to call her a witch, or evil witch." That's his exact words.
don't want anything to do with her. Initially, she's like, cool, bye. Fuck you then. I block her ass because I'm like, bitch, you betrayed me, so fuck you, right? I didn't say that literally, but I'm like, be gone out of my life, witch. Tell me how I start get bombarded by everyone in her circle with blackmail threats.
Why do you think? We can speculate, but
So this piece of garbage,
I thought she was nice.
not in this moment, she's a garbage right now.
This is definitely Lionel for real. This is definitely him.
You know, people shift. People go through phases. I was a garbage in my younger years. You know what I mean? Okay.
I am mad at you right now.
So she had sent me a recording that she had done of our call. I didn't know she was recording. So you guys, I need you, maybe it's normal online. It's not normal to me. I've never had someone record a call with me. And then she had uploaded it to YouTube in a private account, and she sent me the fact that she recorded our final call. The one where I was really upset about how things unfolded and how I was really done with her and I felt betrayed. I was upset. I was wilded. Okay? You can say whatever you want about that call. She can play it. I don't feel bad at all. The betrayal I felt at that time and how she could do that to me after everything I tried, I was like, yo, fuck you. She recorded it. I was blown away. That's why I have the recordings I have now. Because when I realized she was recording and she was trying to build some kind of case, I said, I'm going to keep my recordings from the future going forward. Okay? So she sends me texts. I don't engage. I block her. She sends it from a different number, sending me the link to the video. And do you guys see what it says here? Video 1 of 10. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to just move it to the side. You can see the text. But the text says, I told her release it. You know why I said release it? I don't care. Genuinely. I don't run my life in a way that if it became public, I'm terrified. I told her fucking release it. It's worth having you out of my life. Let's see if I got more of this shit.
Nah, go ahead.
Then her
play it,
friend
bro.
started messaging me.
Nah, bro, go ahead, play it. We this far down in the rabbit hole. Go on, play it, bro. She gonna play it anyway. To be about that life.
Look what this goober ass posted. Y'all see this?
The phone number.
I don't care. Fuck them and their fucking phone number. You see this? So she's like, yo, I'm gonna contact the ops. I want y'all to think how crazy that is. I want y'all to think about how crazy that is. Someone you trusted, someone you loved, someone you gave everything to, and they had their friends say they were gonna blackmail you by contacting the ops. Now, from her perspective, what she's gonna say is, I felt abandoned. Bitch, you abandoned me first. You gave me the one outcome I didn't ask, and then you cut me out. And then in a 24-hour span, you were asking me to be supportive of you and to be like, okay, so how are we going to co-parent? That is a crazy thing to do. Now, she's hormonal. She's losing it. I'm going to be as charitable as I can be and say, it's probably not easy on her end.
Now, we already had talked about this earlier in the stream where we all agreed collectively that was fucked up that she contacted the ops, contacted one of Myron, right? And then she go back and retract it and say, oh, I was just playing. Nah, you meant that shit. She meant it, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to happen for real.
But this is insane. Ain't it?
Is it before or after she's contacting me?
This is before. Here's another one here, a different person. And what I said, feel free. She would never, but her friends will. She sent her friends to go after me, okay?
Wait. She has just a good support system.
She has such a good support, yeah.
She never would, but her friends will. And the emojis and the clowns, nah.
Yeah, okay.
Burn the whole town.
Okay, let's keep going.
That is Lionel for real. I kid you. That is what Lionel would say for real. He be like, man, Urban, fuck that. We finna blow this bitch up. This is exactly what Lionel would say. For real.
And to give you guys an idea of how rampant this shit was, it was really weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
hey, Lionel, he'll simply say, yeah, we feel create all kind of chaos tonight. Yeah, we rolling out tonight, bro. Let's get it. I'm with it.
when I say I was shocked, I don't say that lightly, okay? And I'm gonna play more recordings after. But I think it's always a good idea. You know what I mean? Just for a little bit of context. These are all the numbers I was having to block because she would not stop. The harassment was crazy, guys. Okay, y'all see that?
Wish she revealed this, by the way, too. So,
put another up on screen. Okay, this is from after. Well, we'll get to that later. All right.
So when she made that video where she said, he blocked me 100 times, that's what she failed to fucking say.
Yeah, I have to block.
That's what she failed to say. He blocked me so many times. Yeah, but you contacted on different numbers. Ooh.
To be fair, I did definitely block her more than she blocked me. But at the same time, I was trying to get away from her multiple times. The suicide attempts, my sister's going through stuff. Like, yeah, it reeled me back in. What can I say? I'll own my own mistakes because I made them, okay? Caring too much for the wrong person, making too much effort, whatever insecurity in me that drives me to feel like I need to take care of people this way. It's not a good thing, especially when directed at the wrong person. I'll own that every time. I don't sit here, guys, and be like, Abba's perfect or whatever. Nigga, no. All right? What happened? Oh, this? Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep needing it. You know what? Why am I acting like I'm not ready to go out dancing?
Yeah, exactly. You already got wet towels, man.
I don't got one towel. I got two, okay? Because we about to salsa.
Okay. No, mi morena, no Filipina.
I'm so glad. No salsa dancing with Filipinas, okay? I'm joking. I love my Filipinos. If one thing I'm grateful for her, she definitely put me on Filipino people, and I'm a big fan. Okay. So, she's doing all this blackmail. I'm not. I ain't tripping, bro. Like, put it out, whatever, just get out of my fucking life. A month goes by. Now I've had some time. After she's harassed a bunch of people. She even contacted Preach, and I didn't even know until later. She started contacting, her friends were contacting people around me, blackmail threats, whatever it could be. A month and some change goes by, maybe. And now things are setting in. I've had time to process the betrayal, how I felt about it. But I think it's a good time now to play more of the recording. The reason why is that we discussed this around this time. Okay? And I'm going to go pretty early, and you're going to hear quite a lot of the recording. Again, I only started recording after I realized she tried to blackmail me. That's the only time, okay?
All right, let's get it.
Yeah, I don't,
All right, before we get to this part of the recording, those of y'all who are tuning in right now, we are reacting to Abba right now. Abba is telling his side of the story with his ex and this whole situation. Now, if you tuned in earlier today, we had reacted to the ex side of the story, and she shared, different things that's going on. All right. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure I hit thumbs up to support the channel, and let's continue.
Yeah, you're not. And
Are you welcome, Maya?
that's okay. Thank you for letting me say all that. But yeah.
So the context right now, the reason why she's like this is that she'd called me eventually and she apologized. She apologized because she knew she was tripping, and she admitted that she was mostly at fault, okay?
Yeah,
During
true,
this apology call that she does, okay?
Now I'm saying that's true with Lionel. Yeah, he definitely had known me at text one. So he had let me know the moment she was texting him, like, hey, bro. Hey. Sure, me too.
A lot else gets said, but this is her after I'd responded to her apology call, okay? I don't know if it was like through text. I don't remember because a lot of this is hazy. I just remember she had a lengthy apology for everything that she did that was wrong.
I think just to debrief or to recap, I couldn't have you. I don't want you to for us to separate and you not think that this was, really hard on me, and that I didn't love you. Again, I don't think the amount of grief I had gone through this last month would have existed and still carry that today. I feel like the pregnancy kind of made me not think correctly and do things the right way, and it kind of messed things up weirdly, and I didn't move properly. And the only thing I can say to that is, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was honestly trying my best, and
Sorry, you guys can hear me clicking in the background. I'm doing the same pose I did when she broke up with me.
yeah, I'm sorry for everything.
It's okay. Like I said earlier, before we started this call, I don't want you to think that I want to do this to have a chance to litigate the past or prove my point. I really want to just let you be able to say what you want to say and kind of get things off your chest. And I appreciate you sharing all these things, and do you have any questions that you want to ask me? Anything?
No, but I think really the only honest thing that I'm feeling right now is you're not saying much, and that's just making me feel dumb for saying everything that I said.
Why?
My boy, I'm
So
gonna tell
her
you,
apology, she's mad because I didn't reply in the way she needed to. So now she regrets her apology.
my boy,
Keep that.
my boy.
Keep
I'm
going.
gonna tell you something right now, okay? And it might be controversial, but I don't think so. In my lifetime, I've seen many pregnant women, and I can tell you that much. The pregnancy is not the problem. It's something else. 1, 2. So her body changed while you saw her being pregnant, right?
What are you trying to say? She wasn't pregnant?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what do you see? What certainty do you have
I
except her
believe she was
word?
pregnant.
What certainty except her word do you have that she was actually pregnant?
Okay, so you think she wasn't pregnant?
That's not. I'm asking. I have.
I'm certain. I'm not going to say what, but I'm certain.
You do?
Yeah, I'm certain.
Perfect. We don't need to go anything.
I'm going to defend her when I feel it's fair. She was pregnant.
First, fair, cool, all right.
So I told you, all my friends, all of them were like, this bitch lying, she wasn't pregnant. Also, keep in mind, she never once asked me for money, ever. Like, it's not a gold digger situation or whatever.
Gold digger situation.
I mean, the question that Preach is asking is very valid. So he's asking about the certainty of the pregnancy, meaning that do you have any type of proof that solidified that she's actually pregnant? Have you been with her to her OBGYN appointments where the doctor could validate that she's in her first trimester of pregnancy? Or are you just simply going by what she is saying? And another reason why I'm saying that this is valid, because those of y'all who are tuning in right now, I have made this assumption as well too. Not per se how the way Preach put it, but I gave y'all different scenarios how certain type of modern women will behave in a situation. One of which is what Preach is talking about right now, what I told you that some of these modern women will literally sit up here and hustle these dudes out of money, faking that they're pregnant, but they're really not pregnant. That's why I said. Because I have experienced dudes who are in scenarios like that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be real with y'all. At one point in time in my life, I also had experience where a woman literally finessed me out of money, sent up her line that she was pregnant. But she really wasn't. So that's why I say that I can understand where Preacher's coming from with this question, because I said it. So if you don't have no type of evidence that she's pregnant, she could just be lying and saying the whole entire thing. And another thing too, I understand about when women and their emotions started to change hormonally, when they're going through their first trimester of pregnancy, but at the same time, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Through my experience, I have a total of 4 children now. Through every experience with my children, right? The woman of my children never acted super insane or super weird. Now they've been emotional, but when it comes to critical decision making and different things like that, it didn't have nothing to do with the pregnancy. They had everything to do with them. Well, I'm just saying.
It's a crazy situation.
Maybe. I'm just saying the people run with that narrative like it just didn't happen. So I just want to say that. Let's go ahead. Man, why am I defending her? Yo, she a golden. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
No, it's just that all that I've seen people being wrong, and I've seen people being very, very, very highly hormonal in their pregnancies. That, my friend, is something else.
Sure.
Wait, is she pregnant now?
No, let's keep going with the story, bro.
It doesn't make me feel...
Yeah, you saying she pregnant now? No, because she had the abortion. Allegedly, she had the abortion. Unless she could prove that she had the abortion.
Dumb. It just makes me feel like a little... obviously, it was fine for me to say that. And thank you for holding space for me to even explain all that. I promise you that was my reality and that was all true. But I did kind of like pour my heart out
I just feel like if I start doing the same, we're gonna probably start arguing because you're gonna like disagree with how I view things or the way I view them, and I didn't want to invalidate whatever it is that you're feeling or do any of that. So I think that's why I'm just not.
Okay.
That's why I'm not. That's it right there. I stopped engaging. Because every time I would disagree, it was always like, you're more wrong. My feeling, so I was like, you know what? Cool. I just stopped talking. And that's what you're seeing right there, okay? I'm going to move the recording along. I'm going to now explain to her why I pulled away, and you guys are going to hear her reaction, okay? I didn't see any of that coming. I also spent time thinking about it. I mean, as far as the end goes, obviously I didn't see any of that coming, and I kind of just didn't say anything at the time because obviously I was very caught off guard. And on top of that, it was like an outcome I never could have ever imagined. So, you know, with the shock and everything, all I wanted was to just kind of get away. And I understand that from your perspective, you might have felt like you needed me. But honestly, it felt like you like ran a truck through my head. And I didn't want to say anything because I had no control or any say in it. So it's just like, I just couldn't be supportive. I couldn't be there for you. Because I was just, I don't know.
I knew I did that to you.
And I'll just say, like, you know, I don't know, my response wasn't great, but, you know, it felt like I got ran over, and then I was, like, asked to be supportive and present by, like, the person who ran me over. And when I just kept wanting to, like, get away, like, I was just bombarded. And so then I just started attacking. And by bombarded, I mean I was harassed by all her friends and threatened with blackmail.
I'm not proud of that response, but I don't know what I could have done in that moment when I tried to get away, you know, like, and, you know, I'm really not someone who spends time being cruel to the people around them or stuff like that. I'm generally very, very, very calm. But I definitely felt like, I don't know, I think I felt like there was not much space for me throughout quite a lot of it. And
all right, you're gonna hear me a little bit emotional. You know what I mean? Members only access. Turn this portion off. You want to see them tears? Yeah.
We didn't know it was that until you said it. Okay. To be honest, maybe you had to sniff
be honest with you.
You're gonna hear it. It's gonna be pretty clear.
Really didn't care.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the relationship as a whole,
I knew that
It's okay. Like, I know you know, but actually.
And I'm sorry that I kept like trying to reach out. I'm not saying this is right. I was so desperate to figure out, like, well, I knew that at that point we were just like at war and we were just fighting. But like, I just was so desperate to figure out what to do with the pregnancy and me wanting to keep it. And then I had broken up with you because I wanted to keep it. But then that was like a dumb thing that I did. Again, I froze and, that ended up the way that ended up. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you, like, it was like, I don't know what the heck. My like cognitive ability was just like so impaired by all this pressure. And and then again, that's why I reached out to Preach. And I was just so desperate to figure it out and do the right thing. And it was like soul crushing. Like this whole thing didn't like just hit like my heart, like it crushed my spirit, like everything did. Like from the moment, you know, even like me having that phone call with you, and me like not realize, like, and everything happened so quick. And even like a few weeks after, I knew it was my fault, but like I was like, I knew you were going through like your process of like shock in the beginning, but it was the week I had the abortion, and Kimberly had came back to help me. I think this was 2 weeks after talking to you, after our last talk. And it was actually. It was 2 weeks after. I was still trying to figure out if I wanted the baby. I had gone through like a weird shock.
She was so shocked. Her first reaction was to run to Fresh and Fit. Anyone else, like, to be honest with you guys, that's like, to me, so insane. I've never had a problem with someone so severe that I'm like, I'm going to blackmail you, or I'm going to contact your biggest enemy and tell them a secret I think is going to destroy you. Like, that's so goddamn corny.
And also, I want y'all to understand this too. When she decided to keep this baby for the last time, she wasn't keeping the baby because that's something that she wanted to do. She decided to keep the baby for the last time is because she seen that she was losing Abba. And so by her feeling that way, that she was losing the man that she said she cared about and loved, she decided that she was just going to participate in it to make him feel happy. But it was all too late to the point where he didn't want to have nothing to do with her now. Now, what made this statement true is that if she really did want to keep the baby for her, then guess what? She would have never had the abortion, allegedly. She would never had the abortion. She'll be still pregnant to this day. So that's what make everything that I'm saying at this moment is true about her behavior. That she was just doing it because she wanted to keep him. And she knew the only way to keep him is for her to just give in and have the baby. But deep down inside, she don't want to have it.
And to someone you love, like, you guys hear me here. I don't talk about her like she's the devil. She definitely did some fucked up shit. But I still very much, there's some love in me because we went through something difficult. Genuinely. I'm still mourning the abortion, everything that happened with it. It's a tough thing for me. Be honest with you. I'm going to have to figure that out, and that's my own experience. But there's just certain things that she did, and she just doesn't recognize the gravity of it or what kind of betrayal it is. Go ahead.
Just in the way that you contacted me, you were off. Off. Why contact me? I felt like she wanted to use me. That's what it felt like. It was weird. It's like I don't know what I don't know what you're trying to do here, but it's hella weird.
Yep.
The making the rounds to contact the others. It's not you contacted one person, bitch. You made the rounds to contact everybody. Some dumb people fell in the trap. Fit, fresh, Stevie. You contacted everybody. That is not, I didn't know what to do. I think one of the last things that you told me in that text that you sent me was, I think I know how I'm going to proceed. That's what you chose to do?
Peep it though. Someone said, yo, Abba, stay away from these snow bunnies. She a rice bunny. It's different, okay? I promise. Fully rice made, all the way from the Philippines. Highly approved. Give everyone a shout out.
Nah, man. You don't have no bad words for her. She's a witch.
You know what it is, bro?
Full blown.
I made peace with it. Even this whole thing, like the reason why I'm like this, the feelings I feel is more so in regards to the pregnancy and everything involved with that. That's tough on me, to be honest with you. That's the part that gets to me. But her, like, I've moved on. Truly, like, actually in my heart. And I hope she finds happiness. She's got issues and she got to go figure that out. And I hope she gets better. But I don't feel any type of way. The reason why I don't have any words of anger for her, to be honest with you, is because I'm over it.
And you know what the thing is? I'm sorry. I'm going to say one thing. I'm sorry. Because I do know some witches. And that's not what you are.
Yeah.
Because all the witches that I got in my life, they're actually pretty good. You a succubus.
Damn.
You suck the life out of people. That's what you do.
I used to call her a vampire. I used to call her that.
Cousins.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what it is. And then you pull this. You're looking so dead on the video, your face not moving. Oh no, you a succubus. You look dead outside and inside, my girl.
Yeah.
You a succubus. I have no love for you. None.
Guys,
None.
I know people are like, yo, Al, man, I'm so sorry, whatever. Truly, if you'd have done this live like 3 months ago, I'd have been fucked up. Right now, I'm actually in a really good spot. Yeah, I mean, life is pretty good. You know, your boy's slimming down, exercising every day, doing his thing, going to see people, see friends. family.
We're not friends.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not friends.
Just came back from my brother's wedding.
But she's a succubus.
So like this is not fresh for me. Okay.
No, it's not. It's not fresh.
All right.
It's stupid, which is technically the same thing.
And we got some good music out of it.
Lionel tells me that all the time that we're not friends. Like, we ain't friends. I tell you, this dude is a exact mirror image of Lionel, for real. I ain't lying.
We gonna get some more. Don't worry, bro. Got some other
In this situation.
tracks coming down the pipe. All right. So us separating and going through this is gonna release. Think about it. I made that music video. Wait, which one am I talking about right now? Because I heard the Impression Fit Boys are here.
Listen up, yeah, do your thing, because they're going to go. They're going live at midnight, so they need to gather some things.
I mean, I made this after me and her ended. Do you understand how much she was amused in her absence? That's all I'm doing.
No woman and not you.
Oh, so you got a girl now. You change, make self-improvement. Takes all day.
This would have not happened if I was still dating her. You know what I mean?
That's gay.
We thank you, Libby Calian.
Rip it away. No, I don't want no women, no. No, I don't want no.
Them fools so damn petty, bro. What the hell? Them dude petty as hell, bro. But hold on, let me speed up ahead of this, man. I ain't trying to get striked.
No pussy, no love. No, I don't want no women, no pussy.
Them dudes petty as hell, man. God dang.
Oh yeah, say what you think.
I'd rather,
I don't mind.
Saving kids was good, but
listen, it's real.
Saving you guys was better.
It's real. It's a difficult thing to experience. So for me, I don't mind. I'm not ashamed of that at all. All right, move on.
I regret that. I regret the way I handled it. I knew you to know that, like, you're saying, like, you knew what I was I explained, like, the debilitating decision making, like, I was doing every day. I was going back and forth every day. I was just trying to figure out what to do, and I regret the way I handled it. And I feel like the first few weeks I was like thinking about you first. I feel like I was like in a triangle of like, okay, if I don't have the baby, then things can continue going on with Abba. But if I have the baby, then it's just like all this pressure with someone, I
understand that's what you thought in your head, but like, I think the frustrating part for me is I literally flew down to be there for you for the abortion. I don't know how things were going to go afterwards, but like, I would have supported you regardless. But
don't think that I look at you and I don't care about how you feel. Like, you don't think at the time I'm like seeing you and I do love you, and I'm like looking at you and I'm like, this guy's devastated. And then a part of me is like, I also don't want to, but I'm like, again, I was like in this triangle where like, okay, if I don't have the baby, things can still move forward, because it's like we can still figure out if we're compatible. We can still figure all that out. And yeah, if I don't think if the pregnancy happened, I don't think any of this would have happened. But sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think I always told you the outcome I would have preferred. But I told you I would support you regardless, and I'd be there for you. And I think I try to show up both emotionally and physically by being there in person. I think I went out of my way to try to make that clear to you. And I also didn't lie to you. I didn't tell you I'm going to be fine, everything's going to be great. I told you, like, it's going to be tough on us. It's going to be tough on you. It's going to be tough on me. I don't know how I'm going to change afterwards. I can only tell you that I'm dreading it. And I think that's a reasonable and, like, mature response to the whole situation. I don't need anyone to coddle me or anything like that. Like, I know these things are going to be difficult. And who knows, maybe it does break us. Who knows? But I would never force you into parenthood before you're ready. And I always told you that.
She didn't want to.
Always. And I understand you may have not felt that way, but I just need you to know from my perspective, like, I really tried to convey to you what I wanted while letting you know that I would have your back to the best of my abilities, whatever you choose. And I understand you might have felt differently. I'm just saying what I said and what I tried to do in terms of actions. Okay? Right? Because you didn't want me there for the abortion. Remember? I had to convince you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to be there for it. And I told you it's my responsibility. It was not to convince you. When I got there at that hotel, I was not trying to talk to you about it. And I know you were trying to say sweet things to me to tell me, like, we'll have more kids in the future, all this stuff. I was like, you don't have to say this stuff. It doesn't make me feel...
I just want to say that's such a weird thing to hear for somebody when they're telling you they want to have an abortion. They're like, oh, by the way, I'm going to give you more kids after we get rid of this one. It is such a bizarre thing. And I know she was just in her own way trying to confirm me, but I'm not going to lie. When she said that shit pissed me the fuck off, but I didn't say nothing.
Good, and it's okay.
No, what I'm saying about is not that. I'm saying about because she was trying to convince him not to be there for the abortion. And I find that very suspicious. But I guess according to him, allegedly, he went there and he was there for the abortion. So, all right.
That's a moment where you should.
And I'm not familiar with their age, Maya. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how old they are.
You would use it. Yo, shut the fuck.
Yeah.
When you say, oh yeah, you say it to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there. We just got a big day tomorrow. Let's just get through it. And like, that's me telling you, I don't like what's happening, but I'm here because I care about you. You understand? So, I think what's tough for me is like, I think throughout this whole process, I know, like, you were, and I think I was learning over time. You know, I didn't know at the beginning, but like, you know, after our first large issue post-pregnancy, like, I think I started to understand the mental and like toll it was taking on you. You know, and I was constantly just basically biting my tongue whenever there was something that was happening, because I imagined in my head like this is mostly due to the pregnancy, and like it'll be okay.
So that's where I'm saying I'm smoothing over all the problems that she was starting, because in my head, I'm like, most of this is due to the hormones and the pregnancy, not actually our issues, which wasn't entirely accurate, but I was trying to be diplomatic.
But it was like, you know one thing I don't do, and like maybe this is just for different reasons, and I don't think you're like malintentioned, but like I don't try to convince you that I loved you. You know, I know I loved you. And whether you believe it or not, like, it won't even matter at all to me. But I'll be honest with you. Like, when we sat on a call and you're like, you might break up with me because you don't know if you'll be attracted to me. Like, when you were saying all this kind of stuff, like, I was just eating it on the chin. But, like, there were so many things throughout the whole thing that made me question how you felt about me. You know, I felt like you were quite critical, but I felt like you constantly try to pull me back in and try to reassure me and that you were here to stay. And then, like, you know, there were like 2-3 times where I was like, it's okay, like, I don't feel like you want me, and I accept it. Like, this is even like early too, and like you would always try to tell me, and I'm like, okay.
I don't know if I felt that early, and the conversations I had with you.
So there was a lot of conversations like that where she would like raise a lot of these issues. And I'm like, lady, if this is over, it's okay. Let's just let it end. But why do you keep roping me back in? Like, why do you raise a million issues, say you're not sure, and then when I try to leave, you're like, I'm going to kill myself. Or my sister's like, that's what pissed me off more than anything. Because I was already ready to go at earlier points. But she's the one who really convinced me to invest myself more. And for her to like quit at the 11th hour was just like, it was the last straw for me. So I'm not going to play more. I'm pretty sure there's more of her admitting how wrong she was, but like, it's fine. At the end of the day, what matters is that it ended. She wanted us to reconcile and wanted us to work things out numerous times. And, you know, I was trying to meet her halfway. I was trying to be supportive of her because we went through something difficult.
Halfway.
And this is the last point I'm going to make. Okay.
The last one.
This is the final point. You guys remember early,
take notes.
I said there was 3 things she said. She never quits, so we established she's a quitter.
Yeah.
She would keep the child if she was pregnant. Well, you guys can see from the messages and everything involved, she wanted to abort it multiple times, and I was the one who didn't want that.
And she won't cut you off.
And the third thing is that she's not a cheater or someone who courts the attention of other men. Why am I bringing this up?
My bad.
After we separated, we had this period like here during this call where we're talking. Right. And after that point, I tried to be emotionally supportive of her. I'm like, go to therapy, whatever. We weren't seeing each other physically. She wanted to. She made like a lot of efforts for us to go get back together. After supposedly I did all these bad things, she wanted us to physically be in the same space. And I kept being hesitant about it. I would be like, yes, but my spirit is telling me something's off about this.
Okay, me no.
And eventually I came to the answer that no, I don't want that. And I'll show you guys just an idea. And we ended things on good terms, in my opinion.
Apparently not, bro.
I know. But look at this message, okay? Because you guys are going to see, like, I send a message that says, hey, I know you haven't pressured me at all. I appreciate your concern. I thought about seeing you many times, thought about us together, but in the end, I can't bring myself to do it. Know how much I love you. I lost myself in our relationship, and I realized I have a hard time being myself with you. I don't want to go back there. I know you don't want me there. Still, I want to support you from afar. I wrote that last song wrong. She definitely wanted me there, but it doesn't matter. I will always support you from afar. I learned so much from our relationship, and I know how good your heart is, okay? I talk about her the exact same way. Here she is. Happy birthday in advance. I'll be thinking about you on the day. She sent me this like months in advance before my birthday. I'm sorry for coming off inconsiderate or insulting or insensitive on the call. You're right. I was. My heart's been debilitating heavy. It was selfish of me, but it's not fair for me to ask you anything. It was selfish of me, and I'm sorry for being insensitive on so many ways. I'm glad you haven't been feeling what I've been feeling. I'm praying, blah, blah, blah. She mentions how difficult this whole process is for her. But aside from the romance, it is the person I met and the Abba I met. And the person, in the end, the human in you who I am grieving. I don't just let go of people easy. My heart easy. I'm sorry for absolutely everything from the bottom of my heart. I'll be thinking about you and your happiness, and that's not going away anytime soon. It's hurt a lot because I know it was alignment and not the love. Thank you for everything. I know you gave me everything. I'm sorry for everything. I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. I love you. Don't have to text me anymore. I said, hey, I saw your message. I thought of everything. Appreciate you. And I said, I'll be rooting for you from afar. Okay. Now, good message, right? While we were talking during this period, and she was really trying to set up meetings, which I think she tried to set up like 2 or 3, and I kept saying no every time, and I canceled on all 3. She told me something that was very interesting. You guys remember how she presented herself as first? Christian woman, very demure, very chill.
You said demure.
You see her Instagram, like, very chill. So, like, this is the person, she would never court the attention of other men. If another man approaches her, blah, 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 all this other stuff. She was, like, overcompensating, and she was very territorial and jealous. Yep. And to give you guys some context, if you guys go to my Instagram, I follow like 43 people, okay? Most of them dancers or artists or my family members.
But not me.
Not him, yeah. So you're not an artist, a family member, or, So.
Or a friend.
So.
You know how
the reason why I'm contextualizing is really important, this part, okay? Because you're going to start seeing my reaction why.
Go ahead.
When you believe someone, you believe them for who they present themselves. This girl, one time she got mad at me because I was following this like random dancing lady who does like a lot of tutorials and stuff in regards to bachata. I like this stuff. I like watching people. I'm someone who practices dance technically.
You like bachata?
No, but her footsteps, she did Dominican bachata.
Yeah, never mind.
She did Dominican.
No, Dominican bachata
so
is
the
shit.
footwork was fire.
I'm a Haitian man giving props to the Dominican for the bachata. I got to give them.
Peep it.
Yeah.
Peep it.
Yeah.
I like watching. I don't post comments. I don't like posts. I'm not somebody who's on Instagram Thursdays. To me, that's retarded. I just don't do it. She'd gone through my follow list and had an issue because I was following like 1 or 2 dancers, and I appreciated the fact that they were very gifted, but these actually were very talented dancers, okay? So she raises the issue to me, and she's like, I just don't think it's a good look. I just don't think it's appropriate, blah, 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 blah. And me, I'm like, I've never had someone bring this up to me in my past, but I was like, I'm not arguing with you. You're pregnant, whatever, this is a problem. I just unfollowed them. Didn't care, didn't argue. Why am I laughing? The whole time this lady had a Facebook, Instagram, but she was like following hundreds of dudes, okay? Again, I just don't care. The hypocrisy pissed me off and it annoyed me, but I wasn't threatened, okay? So there's this.
Because none of the dudes rollerbladed.
True. If they did, I don't know there's a problem. All right, Rico, we can't let him get in.
He can always slide in, roll through, and then,
Peep it. So this lady tells me while we were still talking and she was trying to reconcile things and get back together, even though I felt off, she was telling me she loved me, she wanted to be with me, she really thought like things would work with me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, I'm not going to say like she was one-sided, but part of me was just, I was always reluctant. And that's why you can see the text at the end where I'm like, I don't think we can do this. She tells me that she has a product she's doing and it's getting popular. She's like, has this Instagram where she's showcasing her skills or whatever. I'm like, oh, what kind of stuff you posted on there? And this is where she lies. She's like, oh, you know, it's mostly like archery stuff. It's like, it's not like the thirst trap kind. I was like, cool.
It's not.
Yeah, me too. I need to see the proof.
So tell
on
me,
this.
after we stopped talking,
Tell me why.
I see this shit come across my feed.
But
What?
no, go ahead.
No, these posts that she was making were during the time that she was trying to get us back and she said we were supposed to make it work.
All right.
Peep it. Let me see here.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Tell me why.
All right, here it is. Okay, now look at this.
That's not her second account. She doesn't have
That's the account. Mind you, this account she never showed me. I'd ask her, she would never show it. She refused. I was like, why are you hiding this account? She's like, I just don't feel comfortable. But she's like, you know, I'm trying things.
You don't
whatever.
feel comfortable showing some shit to someone
I know why she didn't show me.
You don't feel comfortable showing some shit to someone that you see naked? It's crazy.
Yes. And to someone who you say is your partner is supposed to be,
Right.
peep it. And this is why all this is happening, okay? When I saw this, I was really, because it really made me look at her differently, okay? So here's the Instagram, and you can see these posts for yourself. She got her in some tight dresses, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? She want to do her gym progress stuff. What was crazy is that she was replying to every dude, liking everything. Okay?
You don't entertain what?
Okay. Okay. I don't mind. She said these are not thirst traps. Okay. But mind you, there's just some her in a hot dress.
Miguel.
And she's replying to every dude on the planet.
Miguel.
You see it, right? I'm not tripping. You guys see that?
Miguel.
Peep it. And she said to me, this is.
I think Albert kind of reaching on this one, man. I think he kind of reaching on this one a little bit, man. I mean, because like, well, when he showed her other account, she was dressed the same exact way. I mean, I don't know about this one, but continue.
When I found out, I was like, why did you lie to me the whole time? Like, that was really off. And she denied it. She was losing her mind, getting angry at me. You want to know how fraudulent this broad is? I'll tell you what she did. When I found out, I texted her about it. Not because I actually care about this kind of stuff generally. It's just that she presented herself as something, and she was doing the opposite and hiding and pretending. So when I texted her about it, you know what I did before I texted her? I screen recorded, okay? When I told her about it and then she got on a call later, you know what this girl did? She archived some of the posts. She archived. And when I questioned her about it, she never answered. She would dodge the question. You did this to me, you did. But I'm like, why did you archive the post if you felt like you did nothing shameful? You'll see. I wish I clicked on some of the other pictures. I probably did another video. If you guys look here, I wish I would have done it. You can see this one right here, right in the middle, right there, where she got the tight dress on and she makes sure her ass is nice and showing.
It's not an ass, it's boobies.
Boobies for sure, but she turned. She does a lot of stuff. Look, I've never managed my partner's Instagram in my whole life. Mostly because if this would have been her Instagram off the top, I would not have dated her, personally. I don't go to change people. She hid this shit. Who hides an Instagram like this while they're trying to court somebody or try to be, no.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, once again, I think he kind of reaching on this one because, to be fair, he said it with his own words that they're broken up now. Since they're broken up, so technically she can have her other IG account open so she could be back out there in the market. Now, do I agree with doing that after you done got out of a relationship and had an abortion? No, I do not. Not at all. I don't think that's appropriate, but she do have the right and freedom to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. And the other part about this, where he was talking about she wasn't dressed like this. I can rewind this live stream all the way back, and when he was showing her other IG account, she was dressed the same exact way. She was. when he met her, she was dressed the same exact way. And that's what pulled him in. It's how the way she was look her body and different things like that. So come on, bro. We ain't stupid, bro. You don't have to lie to the brothers, all right? You don't have to lie to kick it, bro. Because we get it. We understand. We get it. But I know you're trying to correct this hyper emotional stance to prove that there's something wrong with her, which we clearly could see that it is. But you don't have to go through all this to prove it, bro, because we already see it. Yeah, because this right here, you kind of reaching a lot on this one, bro. I thought he was going to say some stuff that she was cheating and he found secret messages or whatever, but
that much. If my girl would have posted shit like that, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Fair.
But I would have a problem with you lying about it. If you post shit like that,
that's what I'm saying.
That ain't got nothing to do you, boo boo.
That's what I'm saying.
And guys are replying, I don't care. I don't care. Generally don't care. Cause why? Cause at the end of the night, you coming back home with me. You could talk. You could. I know it's business or whatever, whatnot. I wouldn't care. But if you lying about it, it's kind of weird. It's kind of sus.
But my thing is, she presented herself one way. She took issue with who I followed, which was super PG. And then she was doing that, and she was hiding it, and she was archiving posts, and she was like, she's the one who can't be doing that.
Suck your butt!
That's what I'm saying.
I tell you.
You know what I mean?
Burn them!
You know what I mean?
Burn them.
So to me, it's like the hypocrisy in the life. And so when she did that, I'm like, oh, so you was doing this.
Oh, we're not gonna get with the point that you acted like a beta in that situation is too. In that situation is too, bro.
Beta.
You absolutely acted like a beta in that situation.
Beta.
Nowhere in hell where a woman would tell me that, hey, I feel some type of way that you following these people. Can you unfollow them? Shit, bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I ain't unfollowing nobody just to make you feel good. You got me like all the way messed up. Shoot.
Shady shit. You was doing this shit. It's like, all right, bye, girl. And then she got mad. She lost it. She was sending me novels or whatever. And this is the reason why she's here today.
Preach. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. We live. This is a live professional show. Why in the hell you gonna sit up here and blow your goddamn nose on a live professional show? See, it always be Negroes like this who don't know how to have proper decorum. If you knew that was going to happen, bro, you should have just stepped off the camera and did that, man. Those always be doing weird stuff, bro.
So, at the end of the day, I wish her the best of luck. She can go do this with somebody else, whatever. She can pretend she did nothing wrong because she always does that. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it was a semi-messy relationship, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And the fact that this is public, I would never want. But she chose this life.
No, you made it public. That's your fault.
She made it public.
That is your fault. None of this could have went that way, but you went to Watts. You went to Stevie. You went to the Fresh and Fit. You went to many more. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, my girl.
Hell, she could pull up to the lounge and I have a conversation with her. Why not? Might as well get all this grifting money since everybody else getting it.
The whole problem of this shit is not that you got pregnant and you want it or not, or want it or not, or want it or not, or want it or not to keep it.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. The issue is that you're a crazy bitch.
That's it.
That's what the problem is.
And like, just imagine how much of a loser you are right now because you're over here posting all this shit online and like all the red pillars are going to look at you like you're a Jezebel. And if that's what you want to do, then go crazy, girl.
You're giving fuel to all the people.
I'm happy.
You're giving.
Because you and I not co-parenting. We not involved. I got nothing to do with you. Your boy free.
You're giving fuel to all the people that think you are the norm, my
That's
girl.
it.
By the end of the day, you're really it's just one crazy out of many.
That's it.
But you're just one crazy girl out of many normal girls, right? The problem was not the hormones. Because the baby's not there no more, right? You still decide to do this shit now.
Yeah.
So that had nothing to do with the hormones. You crazy.
Yep.
Succubus.
That's it.
You go through friends, families, and foes. You are crazy. You're a crazy one.
That's it.
Hey, I heard you really dodged one. Ooh, if you took her home, it'd be a mess, son.
I mean, technically speaking, he did not dodge this girl. He went through the fire with her, and it just ended. Now, him dodging her is not even engaging into the relationship at all, period. He saw it from afar, and he like, hell no, I'm not going to deal with this. So, no, he didn't dodge her. Dude straight up suck her out in this situation. He did. But, I mean, based on how the way Abba is talking about, right, it appeared that the relationship was fine other than this pregnancy thing, because the pregnancy thing was the whole catalyst of this whole entire situation. Because Abba wanted to keep the baby and she didn't. And that's how it fell apart. Because Abba was more than willing to put up with her succubus bullshit. Right?
Tell me how you do.
So, everyone like, oh, Abba, how you like? I'm not stressing. I know you guys are terminally online like, oh, you must be. I don't give a fuck. I live my life in a way where I try to put my best foot forward. I make mistakes. I fuck up. I do. And I'll always own that. And I said throughout this whole call, there's plenty of things I should have done earlier on, which I didn't do, and I'll own it. But all this narrative that she's building, it's all just bullshit. This girl is being shady. She was being shady. I still don't think she's a horrible person, but I think she got a lot of shit to work through. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, she had a lot of shit to
work through.
Oh, 100%.
That's it. But at the end of the day, guys, like, this is the best ending. Like, y'all don't realize, like, I'm free, nigga. I made it out of Shawshank. I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm all of them. I'm out.
Cause y'all free.
So y'all can say whatever y'all want, but just think, I might have been tethered to that crazy bitch for my whole life. So
that's true.
I'll go to my therapy. I'll do whatever I gotta do, but your boy happy. That's why.
No, bro, because once again, let's reiterate. You said that you wanted this to happen. You said that you wanted to be pregnant by her. You say you wanted to have a child. That's what you said. But it just didn't work out the way that you wanted to happen. And then creating these different scenarios of this situation for where you're at right now. So yeah, come on, bro. We know that you are crying in the closet, man. That's why you drinking right now. And that's why you got to do all this stuff to get your mind off of it. Because you reiterated over and over again that you're in love with this woman, and still was saying it on this show that you're in love with this woman. So come on, you don't have to cake with us, bro. We get it. We understand. We all been caught up before with a beautiful woman where she end up having us go to places that we'll never think that we'll go. End up being suckers and simps and betas and stuff. We all done been through it before. It is what it is. It is what it is.
I can show up to this live every day because just looking at her behavior right now, I texted her today. I was like, you doing this is making me so grateful that we're here right now. Because the opposite end is, bitch, I might have been with you.
Yep.
I get to have a chance to be happy.
And where did she reply?
Oh, she tried to pretend like she wasn't bothered. She's like, all right, well, I'll do my other video. I'm like, do whatever you got.
Do your videos. You look stupid.
I'm not stressing. Genuinely.
Okay.
I got the recordings. I recorded it. As soon as I realized this girl was recording, I said, oh my God, I'm actually going to record a call with someone. I've never done that. And I said, shit, we going to start.
That's that Michael Jackson shit.
That's it.
You want to get started.
That's it.
You want to get started.
But like this whole idea, like Abba don't want kids. Like guys, I could tell you, I'm not necessarily someone who has like baby fever or desperately wants kids. If a situation arises, I'm going to take responsibility regardless. Whether it's paying child support, whether it's co-parenting, whatever. I didn't want to co-parent with her specifically, to be honest, because one, she crazy as fuck. But secondly, it was because
We're not gonna do that.
That's bullshit.
No, bro. No, we're not gonna do that. Now this fool separate talking about he never wanted to co-parent with her. You're a lie, bro. You said that you wanted to do this whole entire reaction show is based on you saying that you want to co-parent with her. But she didn't want to. She wanted to abort the baby. So you start feeling some type of way. You start acting hyper emotional, and she started responding to that. So now we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do all this gaslighting and different things that you're trying to do, bro. We're not gonna sit up here and try to paint this narrative with your audience as though it's now you the victim. No, we're not gonna do that, bro. So you was all cool and fine and dandy with me when you was hold yourself accountable. But ever since your boy preached and pulled up, now you sitting up here trying to say some different stuff, man. No, keep it real, bro. Keep it real. Don't change the story. Keep it real.
she lived so fucking far. If she was in my city, I would have figured something out. But she lives very far away. I'm not going to fly 9 hours to see my kid like twice a year. Like, that's not reasonable to me. I don't want to have this. And she knew that going into it. That's what really fucked with me. So That's all it was. But this is not a big thing that should ever be online, in my personal opinion. But she put it out there because in her head, she's convinced she's the right party. That she's delusional. She really thinks that, and it's just like that conversation I showed you guys earlier. She'll be like, I was wrong, but ABBA was much more wrong. That's all of her, and she's doing it again right now. I could say, say it's 50-50. I don't give a fuck. Say whoever ABBA's more, I don't mind. But it's a regular relationship bullshit. That's all it is.
I guess this live is going to be public for a while. This live is going to be,
I'll leave it public. I don't mind.
Leave it public.
Raw and uncut, no editing, nothing.
like you did her.
That's what I've been saying this whole hit. And I'm not gonna lie, the sex was fire. The dates were fire.
Of course,
I'm not gonna look back right now and pretend everything was bad.
Of course, crazy pussy is great. Fuck out,
bro. So why you keep saying this, bro? Why you keep saying no, I didn't do that, but yes, I did do that, but no, I didn't do that. Man, you sound as more fucked up as she is, bro. I mean, you either one or the other. You can't be like lukewarm in this situation. You want to be lukewarm for your boy, your audience, but you want to be all vulnerable, you know what I'm saying, when you be by yourself. No, bro. No.
out of here.
God, ABG. You know what that is? Asian baby girl. I've never actually been in a relationship with an Asian girl before, but yeah, it wasn't bad. No Filipinos.
I shouldn't even smoke here. Well, sorry, my bad. Asian baby girl. My cigar.
All right, let's look at some of the questions. Some people had questions.
No, people went crazy with the questions. With the thank you very much for everybody that did the donos.
So the members get their questions answered first because the members are the most important. But I'll get the rest of you guys later.
Get the members. Golden member.
So I'm gonna fast forward these questions.
I'm sorry.
How do you feel about her reaching out to content creators to try to paint a narrative? That really rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, I'm not surprised, bro.
It's loser. It's loser thing. What happened?
No.
You good?
No, I'm not. It's just disappointing. You care about somebody, you try to go things with a good foot forward, and to find out they're doing all this other stuff, it's like you're hurt, and you're gonna regret it later, and you're gonna realize how stupid you look. But it's just, and you're not ready to actually accept any of the parts. Like that was a big problem in our relationship, is that she just wouldn't accept her portions of it. So that's how I feel about that. What else we got here?
Yeah,
we have a $50 Canadian.
Wait, hold on. Let me look through these. Sorry to Ab, I went through something serious, some situation that was similar in a relationship. For what it's worth, fate of the unleashed. Appreciate you, boss. Abar, you are accept the fact that she was never pregnant or the baby wasn't yours. Listen, I know that's a common thing, and everyone thinks people are getting baby trapped. Sometimes people make irresponsible decisions. I just got to own my part. No matter what my doctor told me, no matter what, that's on me.
I mean,
that's on me. No, that's on me.
No, it is.
Okay, so you just got to eat that.
Because your doctor told you you had low sperm count. That doesn't mean that you can't conceive.
He told me like that, but it doesn't matter. That's on me. So you just got to own that part. I know the narrative is always they never had the baby, and it's very convenient. Sometimes they did, and it's very complicated.
Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier in the stream that he didn't get baby trapped because he had chose that, all right, and which he did held himself accountable for that as well too. Even I said something about that, all right. And then after when the moment happened, once again he wanted to have the baby, but she didn't. So I don't know why he's trying to revert back to this factory reset setting or whatever the hell he's doing to try to fake like he didn't want to have this baby when he did. So I don't know why he's doing this weird stuff.
Sometimes this shit just messy. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll find out later after the fact, but I'm not gonna paint her in the most like Jezebel lying light. So.
Someone wrote la demoiselle va pas bien. Here logo la demoiselle va pas bien.
Some of you are showing me a love with the donations. I appreciate it, but I'm not going to read those out, okay? But if people show me love, I see you, all right? Someone said, go dance some salsa. I will. A lot of you clearly don't read or listen. She made the choice and now is trying to make her name for herself. I can only imagine the trauma that she would have caused had she kept it. She definitely likes to play the victim. Listen, I don't know, because I know she's keeping the Instagram, even though she told me she was going to delete it because she said it's just a stupid experiment that she wouldn't want to keep. She's kept the Instagram since, right? And maybe this is her trying to launch her career. I know she quit her job recently to go traveling, so it's very convenient that all this is happening at the same time. I'll say for myself, I hope she's happy. I hope she goes find her happy. I hope she heals whatever. I don't care. She's out of my life, so I don't have this vendetta where I'm wishing. I'm just like, go away. That's what I think when I hear about her.
So So other than this, they just responding to the chat at this point. So I'm not going to want to keep playing this. So once again, appreciate everybody who tuned in to this episode of the Urban Lounge podcast. We was reacting to ABBA in a situation with his ex, where she had revealed that ABBA got her pregnant, and then she ended up getting an abortion, but he really didn't want her to get an abortion. He wanted to keep the child, and so she decided months and months later afterwards to create a video about it, and here we are right now, and that's why we're reacting to this. All right, so appreciate y'all want to tune into the show. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole entire situation. Those of y'all who ever caught the beginning of the stream, make sure you catch the beginning, because we did react to her original video as well too, so we can have context from this, from both perspectives, from her perspective and from his perspective. And this is the reason why I was able to make my points throughout the show, because I have seen both of the videos, this and his video, at the same time. All right. So it won't be no one-sided thing, and we won't have this weird parasocial bullshit going on over here at the lounge. All right. So if you didn't catch the beginning of that, by all means go over there and catch the beginning. Well, not go over there, but rewind the show and catch the very beginning of the show as well too, because I did show her video at the beginning. All right. So other than that, appreciate everybody who want to tune into the stream. Make sure you have your notifications set when I go live again. Matter of fact, I did have a live schedule earlier. We was going to react to another show until this popped up and stuff, right? So I had to reschedule that show. So that show is now rescheduled. Chaos, what's up with it, brother? So this show, the show that I was going to do originally has been rescheduled, all right? So make sure you have your notifications set when I go live, all right? So other than that, we're good. Y'all have a good remainder of what is it, morning time? Yeah, y'all have a good remainder of your morning, and we will see you again on the next episode. Peace out.